Raiders. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the Twin Ravens Gaming live stream of D&D. This is what we've been planning for quite some time. First things first, a few house rules I want everybody to know about that we run here during our D&D games. The first is death saves. I roll them. It adds an element of... It will remove some of the metagaming aspect of the other players knowing, hey, that person's about to die, let me go fix that. And it ramps up the tension for combat. We have an extreme action rule. This is a somewhat RP rule, so it's a little subjective. I kind of make the ruling based upon what the player's trying to do. But the gist of this rule is if something would propel them RP-wise to perform an extraordinary feat, like let's say game rules don't let you run 4 times your normal speed, it would be allowed. The consequence is you get a level of exhaustion. Okay. You can do this, basically up till you kill yourself with the levels of exhaustion.
That escalated so fast.
But again, you have to have a good RP reason for doing so. Health potions and buff potions, like a potion of speed, we allow those as bonus actions. The exception here is any potion that is sort of an attack, like a potion of fireballs. That is an action. And the last thing that we do is a player character may administer a healing potion to a down character, but it takes an action for them to do so. So those are the home rules. And now I'm going to switch us over so you can see the full-on setup.
Yeah.
All right, so everybody wave the camera. All right, let's get started. So we are running in the world of Athkar, which is my custom homebrew world. Hopefully you can see that map somewhat. It's kind of a big map. At this point in the world, the heroes who restored magic to the world have been... It's been about 10 years since that happened. And at this point, the group that they were fighting against, called the Crimson Chalice, who were a bunch of zealot-like cultists, whose mission was to destroy magic, but really they were sort of using it for their own ends. They're on the run and almost decimated at this point. So as we open our scene, the player characters are all headed to the town of Venthal, which is roughly in the middle of the map if you're looking for it. It's on the eastern shore of the Pool of Ruithor. So we have Yip Mirnaz, who is a kobold. Go ahead and introduce the rest of your character.
Cool. So I'm Decabal, and I'll be playing Yip Mirnaz. Yip Mirnaz is about a 4-foot kobold with black or blue and green kind of mottled coloring around him. He's about 9 or 10 years old when the campaign starts, with kobolds reaching maturity at about 6 years. So he's been away from his family for about 3 years now, just trying to learn the ins and outs of the world and trying to make it by as a thief without any kind of aid initially going through.
Another point of note that Yip is aware of, he has been geassed by a powerful archmage. And he is on a quest to find a dragon egg for this archmage, which most people think is impossible because dragons have been dead. Well, the last one died about 12 years ago. So there are no more dragons in Athkar. Krex Mirage, who everybody knows as Mirage, is also on his way to Venthal. Go ahead and introduce your character.
So I'll be playing you guys know it as a Dragonborn. In this game, it's a Dragornian. He is 23 years old as of the start of the campaign. He is very short for a Dragornian. He's 5'4", weighs 150. He's a black Dragornian, and eyes are dark green. He's in Venthal, also on the orders of the Archmage, and he was sent there because his guildmaster had told him that this is the guy that you will be going for most of your endeavors. So, and I do know Yip through the Archmage, so that's how we are tied together.
Yeah, Krex was originally the fence for a small guild in the town of Stone Raven, which is actually on the map to the east of Temervin, not to be confused with New Temervin. And Krex is also in Venthal because he is planning to sort of start up a guild there with the blessings of his old guildmaster. And then we have Mara, who is a paladin of the god Demorial, and Demoril is a unique god from my world. I'll just give you a quick rundown. He is the judge of the dead. The tenets of his faith basically include ensuring that souls are shepherded to him for judgment. Generally speaking, his paladins are not to interfere with the process of life and death. The sole exception he makes is that upon the order of Lady Fate, his paladins can intercede to prevent someone from dying before their time. But generally speaking, they are the shepherds of the dead. They perform rites. The clerics perform rites. The paladins' main jobs are to guard those clerics and to enforce, when necessary, Demoril's tenet that the flow of fate not be interrupted and that those souls be ferried to him for judgment. So Mara, go ahead and describe yourself.
Mara is in her 20s. I believe she is 20 at the time of this battle. She's 5'5", 160 pounds, so pretty muscular. Long brown hair she normally keeps braided. And she is very withdrawn from typical people. She's also going to the battle with her fiance. His name is Matthias.
Okay. And they are marching with the paladin, several paladin orders, who are marching along with the army of Temervin, which we'll get to in a minute. But Vandal.
I am playing Vandal Craig, who is 19, just a giant of a man, 6'4", 400 pounds of sheer muscle. I'm not sure what else you want to know.
Short and sweet.
Vandal is part of the army of Temervin and is marching with that army. Talia.
I am Talia Rothlin. I am 17 at the beginning of the campaign. Very short, 5'3", green eyes, fair skin, black hair, and I'm very tiny. I look to Vandal as like my older brother and protector, and that's about it. Other than the fact that she loves to tell the history of her family, and we'll get to that later.
And Talia is also marching with the army of Temervin. Renthal.
Hey guys, I'm Soul Slayer. I'm going to be playing a druid named Renthal, Soul Strider. He's a Cathari, which is this world's version of an elf. And got piercing blue eyes. I have very sharp like features, which will play into some of his druid features. He's 30 years old at the start of the campaign, pretty standard height. He's got like kind of a very pale skin with a blue twinge to it almost, and ash blonde hair. And he is associated with the Iron Wolves and marches with the army of Temervin also, coming out.
Actually, you're marching with the Iron Wolves.
I'm marching with the Iron Wolves.
Right.
Correct.
Just kidding!
And then, last but not least, we have Melisant.
Who actually goes by Tempest. And I am 20 years old when we start. I am about 5'7". I have pale blue eyes, pale blue skin, white hair. I am human, however, I am also Air Genasi. And my father works, he owns a fleet of merchant ships, and so I am actually traveling on one of the merchant ships, and I work the ships, and I talk to the merchants, and I'm fairly outgoing, and so this is how I end up in the town, is we've come into town.
Yep. All right. So, forgot to WD-40 the chair.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
All right.
The chair squeaking.
The chair squeaking. Yeah, exactly. It's a magic item, rare artifact.
That's one level of annoyance.
So, Mirage, we're gonna start with you. You get to Venthal before almost anybody else does. You're there on your own. You arrive at night. Venthal's a relatively small town. Buildings are closely clustered together, except for certain market areas that are more widely open. You have a contact named Venthan that you're supposed to meet at a nearby inn. You're about 2 blocks from it. It's the Griffin's Claw Inn.
All right. I'm just getting into the town.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think before I meet up with the contacts, I guess just find a place so that I'll be staying at,
Okay.
so that I can set it up once I'm done with the contact. Where's the closest inn?
So you could stay at the Griffin's Claw. It's the closest inn to you. The other one would be down by the docks on the Pool of Ruithor. It's a smaller place that you know of, but out of the way, so it might be to your liking.
All right. Yeah, I'll go to the
Yeah, that one's the Beartooth Inn.
Beartooth. All right. Yeah. I'll go ahead and go to the Beartooth Inn then, and just get a room for the night, and then head back out.
Okay. You enter and the door creaks as you enter. And the main common room is it's empty. There's not even anybody behind the desk at the moment. There's a sort of eerie feeling. There's kind of dust covering a lot of stuff. It doesn't look like this inn is frequented very often. Or at least the proprietor's not very good at cleaning.
Alright.
Dimly lit, but not so dim that you could just insta-hide in the shadows. You know what I'm saying?
I look around, there's just nobody.
There's nobody there. You've got the front, you've got sort of the desk along the back wall, and the stairs going up, but...
I guess I walk up to the counter or whatever, and I guess just knock, see if anybody answers.
As soon as you knock, you hear a... Who's there?
It's, it takes me a minute.
Just another traveler.
What, do you want a room or something?
Well, that was the plan.
Hang on. You hear some shuffling and some cussing under his breath and shit get knocked over. Eventually this guy comes walking out, and you hear, step. He comes out of the peg leg. Walks up, looks you up and down. You're not from around here.
Obviously not.
Well, I got one room left. It's a bit leaky, so I hope you like water.
Not surprising.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, nothing at all.
It's 10 copper for the night.
Throw 10 copper on the counter.
He counts it, picks one up, looks at you. He bites it. Alright. Where to put the key? It's around here somewhere. Roll a perception check.
Alright. 18.
Okay. The key is on a pegboard behind him that's labeled room keys. He's looking. I put in here somewhere.
Try behind you.
What, you think you know everything? I own my own blood. No.
Oh, Lord.
He hands you the key. Upstairs, back in the hallway. If you want food, then go find it somewhere else.
Gee, thanks.
And he walks into the back with his distinctive.
So I turn around, I make my way up, and I kind of say under my breath,
I could have just pushed him over.
Alright, you unlock the door and enter your room. You're looking around wondering if this is actually an inn. Because it is so sparsely furnished, you're like, I might as well have slept in a stable. Like, there's a mattress that's clearly a straw stuffed mattress, and you know it's straw stuffed because there's so many holes in the mattress, the straw's poking out. His idea of a sheet is basically the size of a baby blanket. There is no pillow, and there is a chamber pot for use over in the corner. So that's the best bathroom you're going to get. He wasn't kidding about hoping you like rain, because there's no actual window on the room.
Sweet. Best accommodations ever.
10 copper.
So, Yip, meanwhile,
The struggling road.
as Mirage was entering town, you were also entering town. Happened to see him ahead of you, but you just kind of let him go about his business for now. You were told that there is a man here named Jorla Mend who has a dragon egg. He's been bragging about it, and you have it on good authority that he's somewhere in this town with said dragon egg.
Okay. Alright, are there any guards or, like, people around town?
Yeah, when you enter the town, there's two guards. One is sleeping while standing on a spear. The other one is just kind of, he sees you. Kobold.
Yeah, how do you tell?
We don't usually get many of you around here, so...
Yeah, well, that's not surprising. Most of us generally like to stay hidden.
Yeah. What can I help you? Are you looking for something?
Yeah, I'm looking for this guy named, Georgie Mins.
I don't know anybody by that name, but there is some braggart down at the main tavern by the docks named Jorla.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
ringing a bell.
Okay, well, he, maybe that's the guy you're looking for. I think his last name is Mend. He won't shut up about how
yeah.
great he is.
Yeah, that sounds like the guys.
Never mind, I'm not gonna ask how you know him. Well, good evening.
Gee, thanks. Oh, by the way, you know any place to get some good fish around here?
Well, there's a fishmonger that opens in the morning, but, the tavern might have some food for you.
Been a little picky about my fish recently, you know. Last time I came from... Excuse me. There's a trend going on here. People doing voices.
Yeah.
Last time I came from, they didn't know a fish from a chicken. Worst meal I've ever had.
Well, I'm sorry for your misfortune.
Don't beat yourself up about it. I'm sure your food's passable.
It's pretty good. Do you like fish?
Anyway, I'm gonna go find my man's.
The guard just kind of salutes and watches you walk past him.
Poor guard. Poor guard.
So you make your way through the town, down towards the docks, like he told you. It's pretty easy to spot, because the Pool of Ruthor is basically, 4 Great Lakes combined. And you find the tavern he was talking about, the Jovial Juggler. And you can hear the noise from the, and the rowdiness from out on the street.
So I walk into the tavern, and I just kind of look around, and I blurt out, "Hey, any of you guys Georgie Lamens?"
The whole room goes quiet. And they all turn. And they're looking at the door, and at first, like, some guys are like, "I don't see anything." And then someone's like, "Look down, idiot." He looks down. "Ah! This is a small thing. What is that?" His boy's like, "It's a kobold, moron."
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He turns back around. One pompous fellow who has several women sitting at his table. A giant bag. It's cinched up, but a big, big bag sitting on the table. And he's got plates of food and drinks everywhere. He kind of sits back. "I'm Jorla Mend. Are you looking for me?"
Yeah. I heard you the guys to talk about knowing stuff about dragons.
"Absolutely, friend. Come, sit."
So Yip walks over and kind of like hops up on the chair. His arms just kind of barely coming up to the table.
"So, what is it you need to know about dragons, my friend?"
Well, my parents growing up, they told me all kinds of stories about dragons, you know? How they used to serve them, do all kinds of stuff for them.
He looks over at one of the women next to him. "This silly kobold. Dragons haven't been alive forever. They never served dragons." "That's an interesting tale, little one."
Well, it seems you believe them more than I do, considering people saying you've got a dragon egg.
I do have a dragon egg. It's rather a fabulous artifact. Would you like to see it?
Sure.
Very well, no problem. It's only 150 gold per viewing. You'll even get to hold it and feel the energy that courses through it.
Well, you don't have 150. Tell you what, you still look like a gaming man.
I've won a game or three.
So Yip pulls out a deck of cards. He's like, one hand, I win. I get to see the dragon egg.
I'm a gracious man, so sure, we'll play.
So Yip deals out the cards.
He takes his hand.
So for playing the game, I have advantage with using the gaming set as a proficiency.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So first one 18. Second one 9.
Okay. We're just rolling 20s.
Yeah.
3.
Looks like your hand there came a bit short.
Well, that's unfortunate. Best 2 out of 3?
Sure, why not? I'm going to make a sleight of hand check just to see if I can use another roll to add that to whatever I roll for the proficiency check.
Okay.
18.
Yeah, you're able to slip a better card in place of a lower one.
Okay. So then I'll be adding 1 to my hand. Alright. 11. Oh, sorry, 12 with a +1.
6. Well, fine. A promise is a promise. Come with me, friends. It's upstairs in my luxurious estate room.
So, Yip follows him up.
Okay. He goes up. One of the women gets up from the table with him. The others are left there. I take you up the stairs. Down the hall. You make a right. Get all the way to the back, far corner of the end where there's a large double door room. And he goes, "It'll be just a moment." Kind of shields himself from you. And then you hear him whisper something, and then he unlocks the door and brings you in. It's this large, enormous stateroom. Furnished like a noble's house, right? Like everything, like things are gilded. You know, like it's like a golden bed frame. Even the ropes that draw the curtains are, are golden ropes. Welcome, welcome. Make yourself comfortable.
That's a really fancy place you got here.
Yes, I take it with me everywhere I go.
Take it with you?
Yes. Please have a seat at the foot of the bed.
So, Yip kind of walks over and just is sitting waiting.
So, the chick that's with him, she walks in, and she sort of sits across from you in a chair that looks over at the bed, and she just sits back, crosses her legs, and from seemingly out of nowhere, pulls a dagger and is just kind of cleaning under her fingernails. Not even really paying any mind to you. So the guy comes sit next to you and goes, "So Yip, tell me, your family claims they used to tend to dragons."
Well, not my parents specifically, but their parents.
So, then your family is very familiar with what a dragon egg looks like.
Of course, my parents told me it's all about it.
Excellent, excellent. But a moment, when he reaches over, and you could swear it wasn't there before, but he grabs a dragon egg from the pedestal. He hands it over to you. It's big. big, round, smooth, shiny egg.
So Yip's eyes get really big, and he's just kind of looking at it.
And he hands it to you.
So,
Do you feel the power coursing through it?
to be honest, I don't really feel much in nothing.
Ah, it just takes time to acclimate.
So I want to make a sleight of hand check to appear like I am dropping the egg, and then I'm immediately going to like dive to look like I'm picking it up.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to switch it with something that looks similar to it out of my bag.
Okay.
11.
Okay. So you pretend to drop the egg, you catch it, you make the switch, and you pull out a basically a loaf of bread. It's a rounded loaf, but you're like, this is the best I got. Woman across the woman across from you, she's without even looking at you, still just picking at her fingers. And that was a nice try, but rather pathetic. And Jorla kind of looks over at you. You know, I thought we were friends. I brought you up here to look at my dragon egg, and then you try to steal it from me?
Yeah, and I thought she was going to show me a real dragon egg.
It is a real dragon egg, but it's my dragon egg. So he takes it back from you. He puts it back on the pedestal. Now, friend, I suggest you go have some dinner on me because I'm a generous host. And forget you ever saw my dragon egg. Understand?
How much you looking for it?
You know what? I know you don't have the gold on you to purchase it, but I'll make you a deal. There's a gem dealer in town, and he has a bit of a rarity, though he doesn't realize it. I assume that you are versed in the lightweight arts, so to speak.
I've been told I have a entrepreneurial spirit.
Very well. Procure this rare gem for me, and he gives you basically a hand-drawn image of it with striking detail and even color. It's basically a large red ruby cut into like a princess cut, almost like a diamond. Get me that gem, and I will give you your dragon egg.
Deal. Where should we make the handoff?
Oh, you can meet me back here. And then he claps. And the next thing you know, you're out on the street.
Oh my god!
And with that, Tempest.
I love
You see this kobold just boldly stride into the inn, into the tavern, the jovial juggler. You're sitting there enjoying your drink with some of your shipmates, and he just boldly announces that he's looking for somebody that nobody seems to know, until the one guy that's a little smarmy that you don't trust over in the corner speaks up, and he goes and talks to them, and he goes upstairs, and you never actually see him come back down. But Jorla and the woman who took up there with him, they come back down, they rejoin their table, and the merriment ensues. But your shipmate looks at one of your shipmates looks over you. What are you staring at?
What do you mean? What am I staring at?
You're looking over at the table with the fat man.
Oh, I didn't
I
know.
know he's a pompous ass, but I didn't know he was your type.
I wouldn't say he was my type.
Fair enough. Well, I'm getting one last round, and then I think I'm gonna go drain the lizard, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, unfortunately, I know what you mean.
And he gets a refill, and he just walks out.
After he leaves, I get up and I walk over to the pompous man.
Okay. Ah, another traveler seeking out Joel Amend. How may I be of service?
Actually, I was just a little curious what the little person wanted.
Oh, he's a close associate of mine. He came to talk to me about a job. I gave him the information, and rather shy fellow. He went out the back door.
Oh, he did. Oh, I'd love to talk to him. Do you know where he's staying?
No, not really.
You're just a fount of information, aren't you?
I can be. And you suddenly hear some like waves crashing in your head, and then you hear a. This one is not to be trusted. You must not allow this one to pull the wool over your eyes. He is not what he seems. And then the waves recede. Jorla's kind of sitting back. You're an interesting one.
Oh, really?
Yes. Humming. I've never heard anyone stop to hum in the middle of a conversation before.
Oh, it's a little quirk that I have, from birth,
You came in on one of the ships?
Of course. My father owns
That
the fleet.
explains it, sailors. They're very quirky, all of them.
Really?
Well, my dear, if you're looking for entertainment later this evening, I'll be here all night.
It's probably
You are very entertaining, but I'll probably pass. Could you please point me in the direction of the kobold?
He's outside somewhere. He should be headed, I believe he said he was staying somewhere near the jeweler in town. Yes, I
Interesting.
believe that was it.
By the way, did I overhear him asking about a dragon egg?
Yes. I have a dragon egg, and I offer people to hold it for but a moment. The little chap is overexcited about it.
Oh, really?
It's really nothing special. Dragon eggs are dormant. You can't hatch a dragon out of it.
I did not know this.
Indeed.
Oh, thank you for the information.
Of course, my dear. And again, if you need some time later, you're welcome to join us. And he kind of gestures at
hard pass.
I'll think about it. And I'm going to go back to my table.
Okay.
Run to
So.
your table.
I would just like to say out loud
Yes.
that when you attempt to make a character hated, you succeed. I don't even know any of these characters, and I want to stab them.
No, I need a shower.
All right. So, let's cut to you three because you're all in the general same area. The army is camped for the night. You're headed west towards Venpel. You're about you're a couple miles out of town. And so you begin bunking up. The paladins cross the river to join you. And you guys get thrown on guard duty for the evening, for the first shift. So they put you out on the western front. And your guard captain is with you. He's almost also the first shift. And you just kind of... Don't you hate this? Marching to a destination because some spy told you that the Crimson Chalice would be in this location eventually.
I try not to think about it. My feet hurt.
It's fair. It's very fair. My feet also hurt.
Yes.
Talia, you and that book, you were always writing. What are you writing?
Comings and goings.
Well, that is good, because you are on watch, so you can make all the comings and goings of the troops and the people outside of the camp. You, I don't know you. You're not part of the main army, but I see your holy symbol, the scales with the silver backing. Demorial, yes? The god of the judge of the dead, is that what he is?
Yes.
They're a very talkative lot.
Yes, I know. Paladins, they do what they do. Well, I will leave you three to this. I will go check on the other idiots at the other end of the camp. I don't know what Morley and Jarl are going to do, but I guarantee you it will not be good. And he walks away.
As he's walking away, probably excessive drinking.
I mean, they were definitely drinking last night too, and the night before that, and the night before that. Actually, I don't think there's been a night where they haven't been drinking. It's all here.
So you two joined the army, and all they do is drink?
Conscription and joining. Is it the same thing?
That's fair.
I'd much rather be at home with my books, not here.
I'm sorry you're here, but hopefully we can entertain each other during this long night.
Speaking of entertainment, how is Matthias?
Matthias is doing well. He's with the order. They're forming ranks.
Well, it seems like it's going to be a very long night. Hopefully Mathiel will come check on us.
Matthias did not forget to bring you your present. He has it in his sack.
All of a sudden you hear from a distance, "Damn it, Morley! I told you not to do that!"
See, they're drinking again.
So it begins.
Are they all idiots?
Yes.
Okay.
Even to think they've always said I was the idiot.
You are.
No, he just likes to
Sometimes.
make people think that he's an idiot, but he's really not that dumb.
I don't mind you writing it down, but you don't have to tell.
Sorry.
No, keep telling more of his secrets.
I start walking on patrol.
Vandal, you actually hear rustling in a bush nearby. And your passive perception tells you that it's not just like a squirrel. It's
Okay.
something bigger than that.
Put about 5 to 10 feet past it, and then turn on it.
Okay.
Identify yourself.
Ah! Look, man, I'm just here to join the army, but they told me I couldn't. Out walks a little halfling in the most oversized, ridiculous battle armor you've seen. It's definitely not made to fit a halfling. Probably a dwarf. And he's kind of like pulling his belt up to keep his breeches up. Nothing on him fits. The sword's too big, the armor's too big, and his pants are just barely staying up.
Why?
What? Why what?
Why? Why join the army?
Oh, I wanted to fight those guys.
What guys?
The red guys, the chalice guys.
The Crimson Chalice.
Yeah, them.
Why? What'd they do to you?
They killed my uncle. And my father.
And who's left at home?
My mom. And, my, new dad.
We're all having trouble.
I look over at Talia. Well, that got awkward.
He's, and this is his armor. He's a dwarf.
Clearly not a halfling.
Yeah.
Doesn't fit.
But I'm here.
You are, and that is...
I can do some good. Look. He's like trying to get the sword out, and he eventually gets it out and falls over. And then stands up. See?
Very dangerous blade.
Reaches for pants.
So, let me ask you something. Who told you you couldn't join?
Well, like everyone. So there was that guard captain, then there was the guy at the recruiting station, then there was the conscription guy that I begged him to let me join, and I like held onto his leg for like half a mile, and he was like really mad at me, but
Your name wouldn't be Steve Rogers, would it?
no, I don't know that guy.
Okay.
But my name's Vilneus. Vilneus Pufferbun.
Goes as what? I'm sorry, did you say Pufferbun?
Pufferbun. You heard me.
Of the famous Pufferbuns.
Yeah. You must know my uncle then.
Yeah, what was it he did for a living?
Oh, Garthic Pufferbun. He was a great, great troll slayer. Yeah, he killed trolls.
I literally can't even repeat it when I'm trying to.
Master Pufferbum.
Yes.
How old are you?
Oh, I'm the ripe age of 13.
Ah. Well, you see, that's why they won't let you join. You're too young. Simply that.
Oh. Well, no one told me that. You're too small. You're not strong enough. That stuff doesn't even fit you.
I mean, you couldn't even lift your sword, so it kind of makes sense that they would tell you you're not strong enough.
Well, it's made for a dwarf. And he like throws it.
Can I make a reflex save to catch it?
Yeah. Yes. You reach out, and you just like tip it almost, like trying to catch it because of how quickly you just like flung it up behind him.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, it's like really flying away, and then a like pillar of stone that forms into a hand reaches up and catches it. And all of a sudden, you hear, you can see and hear like thousands of soldiers out of nowhere, and one of the other guards nearby goes, I found him.
I'm drawing a sword.
Yeah. And stepping forward is the biggest Goliath you've ever seen. And he just kind of breaks it, picks up the sword, and it's almost like a damn toothpick for him.
Huh?
Here you are, Master Pufferbun, I believe your name was. Thanks.
Wait, was it Pufferbun or Puffinbun?
Pufferbun?
Puffer.
He's just looking up at...
Master Pufferbun, if you go to the Paladin camp, Mistress Mora. Wait, that's my name.
Mistress Moira, I think you meant.
There we go. Mistress Moira. She needs some assistance, and while it's not the battle line, you would be helping her run the camp and thus taking care of the soldiers.
That would be awesome!
Why don't you go there?
Alright, got it! And he starts trying to run, but he's running the wrong direction.
Other way.
Oh! He runs back, and he runs off into the night.
And now that he's left, I've drawn my sword.
Okay.
Well played, boy.
So this Goliath, he's got a giant hammer on his back,
Are we recognizing any distinctive features?
and he's wearing a pauldron that is the shape of a wolf head.
Oh, really?
And he looks at all of you. So, you must be the force from Temervin.
And you must be the Iron Wolves.
Indeed. We were to meet you here. It seems that your commanders got you here on time. And now you're looking over basically these battle-hardened soldiers, every race. You've got Dre, you've got some Cathari, you've got humans, dwarves, Dragornians, a large contingent of Dragornians who are heavily armored. All of them, in some way, wearing an Iron Wolf insignia. And then,
I sheath my blade.
yeah. Well,
And I follow his example.
I will speak with your commander. In the meantime, Renthal, he calls you up. Please, brief them on our presence. And this large Goliath just starts striding through your camp.
Yeah.
And
were you waiting on me to stop him?
no, one of the Dragornians comes forward. We'll take your perimeter now. You can rest, all of you.
I would have to check with my commander first.
Not to worry. They're well trained.
It's not their training. It's my orders.
Who was it that took it? Was it? Who did you say it was?
The Dragornian that walked up.
One of the Dragornian defenders.
Master Imnock will brief your commanders.
But we have to wait until the commander tells us that we can go.
It is fine.
We still can. It just means there's two groups on guard for now.
Let us keep a watchful eye on this night.
Your name was Renthal.
Renthal Soulstrider.
And he reaches out to shake your hand. I'm Vandal Craig.
And you are? Your friends?
Mara of the Ravenwood. She does not extend her hand.
Well
And
met.
the quiet, studious one would be Talia.
Well met, Talia. So, how long have you marched?
3-4 days.
Mhm.
About 3 or 4.
We come from a similar distance. Are you wary?
Of course.
He produces a good berry. Enough for everybody.
So you pull out a handful of berries.
Out of nowhere, he's just like, berries.
It will nourish you. You'll feel better.
Out of character, dude, why do you set me up for things like this? The smartass in me desperately wants to come out, but I'm trying. Alright. Vandal takes one.
Okay.
I bow and I take one.
She's looking at you intently.
It's
I
very
start
good,
eating
Talia.
one.
It's very good, actually.
Start eating one. I'm still holding out the rest.
Talia, he's
Very
eating one
sweet.
as well. It's safe to eat.
Do not worry.
She's reading this if you drop dead.
The next time she looks away from me, he literally does a just to see her reaction.
Insight.
No, he's lying.
You want to roll it or you want to pass?
No, I'm gonna roll it. A 13.
All right. Well, while their arrival startled you, you don't have any reason to.
She takes a good berry, by the way,
okay.
and starts sketching
Yeah,
it.
you have no reason to sketching it. She's not eating it. She's sketching it. You have no reason to distrust them. The reputation of the Iron Wolves at this point precedes itself. Everyone, you know probably more than most about them because you've probably studied their command structure in some of your books and some of the scrolls that you maybe got your hands on that were supposed to go to a higher up. You passed along eventually, but you got some information out of it. But you know the Iron Wolves are basically a professional mercenary army formed by the Heroes of Rawlbridge, as they're being called now, although you've also heard that title changes depending upon where you are, geographically speaking. So you know the Iron Wolves are to be trusted and that their main focus is actually the destruction of the Crimson Chalice. So it's actually somewhat comforting for probably most of the people in this army that they're here because they've been through many, many battles.
Is it safe to say that I know much about the chalice, being with the Iron Wolf?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, they would have basically told you everything they know.
So apparently the threat of the chalice is real.
It is indeed. I have seen it firsthand.
So, how sure are your commanders that it's coming this way?
They follow their movements closely. It's all coming to a head. This will be not a small skirmish. You need to steel yourself for this moment.
How many are left?
There's probably about 5,000 chalice left overall, but they're pretty scattered. But this is the largest. The intel that all of you have that this is the largest force remaining together. Probably about 2,500, but your army is basically dwarfed that at this point.
Their numbers are not certain. In the thousands. We should be able to overtake them.
When the Iron Wolves extended the invitation to the Knights of Selene, all they said was to meet them here. They did not explain why they knew the chalice were coming.
It is their purpose. It is their purpose to wipe out the chalice. It is a great evil in this world, and they cannot exist anymore.
But how do they know that the chalice are coming here?
As I said, they've been watching the movements closely.
All of a sudden you hear To arms, to arms! We're under attack! And he comes running up. I told you to keep an eye out.
Who is yelling that?
Your lieutenant. What are y'all doing?
And where is he seeing an attack from? Where's he looking?
Where you are standing. You're talking with the enemy.
We are the Iron Wolves.
Oh, you're not a surprise attack.
So I
Chalice.
kind of give them about like that.
I am going to
Forgive
go
me.
rejoin the paladins.
I probably
Well
wish
met,
I should
Mara.
have.
I was a bit mistaken. Forgive me.
Just a touch.
He just kind of bows.
Indeed, we are your friends.
Yes, Lieutenant.
Okay.
How does he outrank us?
So you guys basically settle in for the night. You head back over to where your order is.
Yes.
Malthius is waiting for you.
Matthias. Shatter one.
Rona 0.
He's living in your head rent free.
I know. So Matthias is waiting for you by the tent.
Yes.
Mara, it's good to see you. Did you accomplish much with the...
We stopped an invasion of the Iron Wolves.
I've heard stories of their ability to appear and disappear almost at will. It's probably that magic that powers them.
Yes. That magic that is returning has returned. All we know is that it is a myth.
Well, the good Lord Tyr blesses me with some knowledge, and I believe it is the gods' doing to return magic to this world. So, we'll take it for what it's worth. Also, I see that you met that little halfling over there.
He wanted to join the army, and I feared he would keep trying and even run out on the battlefield.
He's a brave lad, but your instincts, I think, are right. He should stay here and set up the camp, tend to the wounded as they come in from the battles to come. He draws his sword and sits down and reaches into his pack, pulls out a whetstone, and just starts sharpening it.
You should rest. That's my job.
You are right, but I sometimes seek solace in the repetition of maintaining one's weapon. He flips it over, hands it to you.
And I take it. And then I take the whetstone. Vandal was asking for you.
Ah, yes. He probably wants his birthday gift. All right. Let me go get it.
He's with Talia. I think I left them. They were still on watch.
Imagine Talia was writing everything down.
As always.
Yes. He grabs a small sack.
Drawing pictures too.
That was creepy as fuck.
He grabs a small bag out of it. And I'll be back in a moment. And walks through the camp.
Remember, you need to sleep tonight.
I will try. He approaches both of you. So, I heard you were looking for this. And he throws you the bag.
I catch.
You catch it. And you open it. And it's basically a small wood-carved figurine of the two of you, with him putting you in a headlock. When you were a kid. Remember when we were kids and I used to be able to do that to you?
Yes, I remember you living in fantasy. Shake his hand, give him a hug.
Yep. Please tell me you have something to drink.
Yes.
I'll take a moment by the fire. And Talia, how are you?
Just writing. And drawing pictures.
Per usual. Drawing pictures, really?
Yeah, there was this thing. And she hands him the good berry.
You didn't need it.
No, Vandal did.
It was good and filling.
May I?
Of course.
Let me start eating it. less hungry and tired than I was before.
Yeah.
I'm glad you like.
Absolutely.
And I go over.
Master Renthal.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm
Well met.
Matthias,
Well met.
Paladin of Tyr.
A paladin of Tyr.
Indeed.
And you are the commander of Ren.
Well, I'm not your commander.
You're not my commander. Oh, Ren. I use the wrong
Okay.
name. Mara.
Mara, yeah, my bad. Okay, I was like,
I even.
I
I was gonna say, is it
I know. I stopped for a second.
New names. Working on.
Mara began as my squire, but is blossoming into a paladin of her own and has taken an oath to a deity dear to her heart.
That is good to hear. She's on her own path.
Indeed. She follows Demorial, the judge of the dead. A noble and just lord.
How does that feel in the eyes of Tyr?
Tyr accepts this. Life, death is a part of life. And, well, Tyr appreciates the justice that is meted out in the afterlife by Demorial. After all, it is said that he judges the souls of the deceased to determine where it is they will reside for eternity.
I have much to learn of the gods of clerics and paladins.
You are a druid, then, given the berry.
I am.
Well, it's rare to see a druid in these parts.
There are few druids in the world at all. My master, Imnok, is the only archdruid I know of in all of the realms.
I have heard of this Imnok. He is one of the heroes of Rawbridge, yes?
You know your history.
It is said that he...
That was the big guy.
That was.
I've heard tell that he defeated some dark leader of the Crimson Chalice.
And we are here to finish the job.
Well, hopefully we will. Tyr demands justice from those bastards.
Then we are in alignment.
Sounds like we might make it home for harvest.
That would be good. I'm sure Mother's sick of Father.
How is your mother?
Sometimes.
Tired, but she's good.
He picks up his drink.
Cheers.
To us. May we make it to the next battle and 100 more.
At this point, I come back and I say, I thought I told you you needed to rest.
My apologies, Mara.
I take his drink from him
Now who's in trouble?
and sit next to them.
I had a good berry. It rather woke me up a bit.
So what is a druid?
A druid is, think of it as a cleric, but for the gods of nature. We draw our power from the earth, the planet itself. Have you ever seen the Cathari kingdom?
No.
There is the world tree. The world tree is said to give us our power. It is said to be a divine connection to the planet.
So like a representation of its life.
Indeed.
Interesting philosophy.
It gives us different powers than you've never seen before.
Sorry, that was cats.
I have never seen any powers before. The powers I've witnessed are life and death by the growth and death of the seasons.
The closest he might have seen is me, emblazoning my sword with the divine power of my god.
I've only read of such abilities.
Don't you remember that time I fixed your shirt?
Yes, but I was very drunk.
Well, I'm off to bed then. I suggest everybody else get good rest. Tomorrow, from my understanding, should be rather, tiresome.
The final march.
I'll drink one more drink to that. And he just basically drains his cup. Which he took out of Mara's hands.
I was gonna say after he reclaimed his cup.
Yeah. So he basically gets up, heads to bed.
I stand to follow, and each one. Before I do, I give you each a little bow and say, "Tomorrow I'll be a judge," and then follow him.
Your guard captain comes by. Alright, get to bed. The Iron Wolves will be taking watch all night. Apparently, I don't know, some of them don't need to sleep or something. Well, what's going on? But, sleep. You need sleep. I need sleep. I need drink first, but I need sleep.
I hand him my cup and the rest of the bottle.
Good night.
And then I shake Renthral's hand before I will depart from
Then Imla comes walking back through. Renthal with me.
Well met. May we survive the battle. And he takes off with it now.
Okay.
It's a good berry.
as opposed to a bad berry.
Mirage. Still nighttime. They're asleep now at this point. So is most of the town you're in. It's getting close to midnight, which is the time you were told to meet your contact of the Griffin's Claw.
Alright, he's not at Griffin's Claw, right? He's on the other side of town.
Yeah, he was on the other side of town at the Griffin's Claw because you're staying at the Beartooth.
That's right, okay. Then yeah, I get what I need and I head off to Griffin's Claw.
Okay. So you head through the town, uneventfully for the most part. You run into a bum in the street, like literally a drunkard who's like passed out.
I don't happen to see anybody of shorter stature, right?
Actually, you do happen to see him as you're coming up the main.
So passive aggressive.
As you're coming up the main street, sticking to the shadows on the side, Yip comes basically skipping, if you will, from one alley to the other, like right in front of you. Roll a stealth check for me.
Stealth check. What's that? 15. I don't know why I can add that.
15.
Yes.
Okay. You just barely notice him out of the corner of your eye
Oh.
as you start skipping across the street towards the jeweler.
Okay. So as we're about to get in the alley, I kind of like, I'm looking around, like making sure no one's kind of like noticing me, and then I do a double take in your direction. I'm like, is it? Cracks!
Oh
Hey,
no.
Cracks!
Oh no.
And I sprint over to him.
Oh no.
Cracks, how you doing, buddy?
Oh hey, yeah.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Yep.
I haven't seen you since we got out of prison.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was some crazy time.
Oh,
You know, they're saying prison's supposed to be bad, but I mean, it wasn't so bad.
Yeah, not so bad.
Not with a pal like you.
You now know where Yip is because you can hear that from 5 streets away.
Oh no.
So what you up to, man?
Just gotta meet up with somebody.
Oh, that's cool. I'm working a job for this other guy.
Oh? Who?
Think his name was George or something.
George.
But anyway, remember that thing I told you I was looking for?
Yes.
Well, he says he got one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know, all I gotta do is nick this gem from this room over here.
Tom aware that he's standing outside.
Was it a real egg?
Give it a moment.
Probably.
Oh, no. Why?
At this point, you are now in the alley behind. You can see Yip at the end of the alley talking to somebody. all of a
just like old times.
you hear like window flies open from the second story of a building like 2 doors down. Who in the hell is talking out here? Do you know what time it is?
I didn't realize it was midnight.
Oh my god. Oh god. I was not ready for all that.
I didn't realize it was midnight. I'm sorry.
Dude, I'm not ready for the two of them.
Especially not together.
Right?
For the love of nature, shut up and go to sleep. The window closes and guy goes back inside.
22 stealth to start following them when they're.
Neither of you notice that she's following you.
Alright, yeah. Let's go.
Great. We'll get over to the jewelry. It's just up the other way.
Wonderful.
Okay. So, you take him another few streets over. You find the jewelry shop just like Jorla told you. Everything's dark. So obviously, the jeweler is probably asleep at this point. That's your assumption, based on the outside. You don't see, with your passive perceptions, you don't see anybody milling about anywhere. So it looks like an easy work.
Are there any windows? What's the building look like? Is 1 story, 2 stories?
So it's a 2-story building. You presume that the upstairs is probably residential. Downstairs has a window. It's not large like most of the other buildings. It's a little bit smaller, so you can actually see inside. Well, you can't. He can.
How does it feel to be short?
If someone was in there, you just see a little cobalt like.
Yeah, just like jumping up to look through. Yeah, you could do that. You could do like an athletics check to see how high you can jump to be able to see in the window, if you want.
Well, with my second story work feat or skills at
Oh, that's
thief.
right.
Yeah, I don't need to use extra movement to climb, and my jump is equal to my jump plus my dex modifier,
Okay.
Sweet.
which is +4.
Okay. So, yeah, you basically jump up and look. There's nobody down there. Definitely the jewel cases are there. You think you see some, moonlight glinting off of what's in there. And the door is to the left of the window. There is no... This building abuts up to 2 others, so there's no, alleyway that goes down either side. There might be one that goes around the back, but you'd have to kind of explore to check it out. There is a cracked window on the 2nd floor, left-hand side.
Okay. Is there any awning or something that comes over to cover the front of the store?
Yeah, there is, basically an awning, a shingled roof right above the door to provide some cover from the rain.
Okay. Hey, Craigs! It looks like that window up there on the 2nd floor is cracked. I could probably get in there and let you in the back room.
Then go ahead and do it.
Okay. So I want to climb up the awning
Okay.
to get and try to open the window.
Okay. So sorry, tell me about the 2nd story work again.
So it means climbing no longer requires extra movement, and my jump is equal to my current jump plus my dex modifier.
Okay. So just make an athletics check to make sure you don't slip and fall or something while you're doing it.
Can I do it as acrobatics?
Yes, acrobatics is fine. You're watching all of this.
23.
Okay. Basically, he backs up, gets a running start, does a cartwheel, and flips up on the awning.
Sweet.
And
It's like watching the Olympics.
it takes a very brief climb, but you can get to the window and pull yourself up to kind of look in and peer through.
Yep. What do I see? Kind of look at him.
So just reaching and looking in, looks like a darkened hallway. You can actually see where the stairs come up to this floor. And then stairs come up towards the back of the building, and the hallway runs towards the front. And there's 2 or 3 doors along that hallway on the side there.
Okay. Does it look like, is there any noticeable lock on the window or anything?
No, and the window is slightly ajar. So
Okay. So I'll try to open the window.
Okay. So you go to open the window and you hear.
Sound effects. Yes. No WD-40 needed.
Well played.
So I just kind of freeze and wait and see if I hear anything.
A moment passes and there's silence, and then you can hear a loud coming from somewhere in
Sorry, was
the
I
house.
Okay, so I climb in through the window and I start heading towards the stairs.
Okay. Are you gonna make a stealth check, or are you just gonna walk?
Stealth check.
Okay.
Shouldn't have said anything.
17.
Fuck yourself.
So you sneak down the hallway, make it to the steps, and successfully navigate your way down into the front of the building. Basically, him kind of standing shadowed near this building, and he's inside.
Okay. So I'm actually going to stay in the shadows up against the wall and just kind of wait for them to come out because I'm not going to interrupt.
Okay. So you make your way downstairs, you get to the door. It is basically triple locked, one of which you might be able to reach, but you wouldn't be able to undo it without standing on something.
Okay.
And then it's also barred.
Like a full-on gate
Like
then?
like a full-on, like... Dunk. Now, you think you could probably get it off. It doesn't look like it's not like a huge, oak thing. It's more like a, small rod that's just going across the door.
Like a gated door, but he can't fix a window?
I mean, maybe it was open by design. He's getting some airflow,
Okay, so I look around for like a stool or a box or something that I can move over and undo the locks.
All right, there is a chair back behind the main counter. Pretty big. You think if you drag it over, it looks sturdy enough that you can climb onto the back of it to reach that top lock. The first two locks you can reach from the ground level, but...
Okay, then I'll unlock the two first, and then I'll bring the chair over.
Okay. Make a strength check to move the chair.
Quick question: is he on the ground floor now?
Yes, he is.
Can I hear him?
Yeah, you can hear him barely, just barely. You can hear him just barely.
4.
Very good. So you grab the chair and you're like, and so you're getting dragging as you're like basically dragging the chair over. You stop every so often to listen, and then just keep going so there's nothing. Yeah.
Oh, so hang on. Like as soon as I hear like the first amount of noise, I'm gonna stop moving the chair.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and try to tap on the door to like get his attention.
You hear the tapping.
Hey, you, unlock the door.
I'm trying. The lock's up high. This door must belong to a client or something.
Oh my God. Why you?
Alright, so what kind of lock is it, the last one? Is it like a turn lock? Or...
It's literally like, it's a turn combination lock from the inside.
A turn combination?
Yeah.
Like a safe?
Yeah, basically.
How the fuck am I supposed to lock? What the fuck is this guy?
So, I have a plan. Alright. So, I get his attention again. Hey, you.
Yeah.
I need you to do me a favor.
Sure, what's that?
I need you to hide. Trust me.
This ain't like that time in New Timmerville, is it?
No, not that time.
Okay, better not.
Alright.
I still can't feel things in my left foot.
Yeah, I'm very sorry.
Alright, so he kind of goes behind the counter and like kind of hides underneath it.
All right, make a new stealth check to do the hide for that.
Why do we have 2 rogues?
11.
All right.
So,
What are you doing?
So I get out a piece of paper and I start writing on it. Just, little stuff here and there. And then I put it down. I have a cloak on. I take it off. Try to get all the dust off me. And I promptly knock on the door.
Like loud
Yes,
as you
as
can.
loud as I can.
All right.
So
Tempest is just watching. She's fascinated.
Eventually,
Oh, it's just like new Timber.
Fascinated or dumb?
it takes a moment, but then you
Yes.
hear
Yes.
you hear some footsteps, and you can see a candle on the upper window. You see the light filtering out too. You can hear it. Comes walking downstairs in robes, banging this time of night. Lifts the thing off, and you watch. You can observe him, the combination, as he undoes the lock, which you think is the most ridiculous thing ever. You hear the third click. He slides that bolt over, and then cracks the door. Can I help you?
Yes, it says here, apparently you owe taxes.
But I paid my taxes.
Not according to this paper.
Can I show it? Show him it.
Roll bluff.
You owe taxes.
What's
Taxes spelled with a Z.
deception or what?
Oh yeah, deception. Sorry, yeah, deception. I forgot they called it deception in 5.
19.
Okay.
Jeez.
Damn.
He looks at you.
This is the usual midnight tax, man.
You know, it's awfully late for a tax collector, but it wouldn't be passed for this damn city. You open the door all the way. Come in.
Trust me, I don't want to be here either.
All right. Wait here.
Alright.
You stay right here.
He goes back upstairs, presumably to get taxes. He turns around. Hey, what do I owe?
20 gold.
You're bothering me for 20 gold in the middle of the night, just like this damn town's government.
I whisper over to Yip really quick.
We need to get that
What is it?
A ruby.
ruby.
So do I see when I was walking around? Do I see the ruby anywhere?
So, within the cases are, relatively plain single metal rings. You've got a couple of necklaces with inset gems, but there is nothing matching the ruby's description down here. However, with your passive perception, you did notice that there is one particular case that's kind of offset by itself that has, that is empty, but has like a pedestal in which a gem, the impression of a gem had been sitting. He probably keeps it locked up somewhere else in the middle of the night.
It ain't on the floor. It must be somewhere else in the building.
I'll just write on the paper, he didn't pay for the gem. I've got to confiscate it.
Sure that'll work.
Probably not. Let's just wait.
All right.
I wrote the combo down. We'll wait for him to go back to sleep. Then I'll let you in. We can find it.
It's either that or I knock him out.
And we want to try to keep this one quiet.
I don't know how much longer this will last.
Trust me.
Oh boy.
Famous last words.
All right. He comes back. Here's your 20 gold. Hands it over.
Take out my little paper again.
It says here, you stole a ruby.
Yip's head. Yip's hands in his head.
How do you know about that ruby?
Well, I don't know. Just the town does.
That mayor probably saw it in the display case. All right. What's the extortion for the ruby?
Oh, no extortion. We just want the ruby. We're sending it back.
Bloody hell! You can't have my ruby.
Or you can't have stolen items.
Roll.
Oh no.
I love how greedy Dronin gets.
13.
It is not even real.
Uh-oh.
Fuck that dice.
First one to
First
dice
one.
jail.
In the jail you go!
Rona.
Yep. He looks at you. Look, I don't want any trouble with the authorities. I'll get you the ruby.
Alright.
He goes upstairs. You can hear him twisting a really loud combination lock. You hear a loud doof.
As soon as he goes upstairs, Yip is bolting out the door.
Okay.
What the heck?
He comes back down. Careful. I was told not to touch it directly. He hands
Totally
you the
not
bag.
it.
Now get out of here.
Have a good day, sir.
Yeah, thieving tax collectors.
Not leave.
Without even a receipt.
And seal the door.
Grex, I can't believe that worked.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay.
And on that note, what are you gonna do?
I'm leaning up against the building right across, and I look at them and I say, "Well, that was the most interesting thing I've seen all night."
You haven't been at night enough.
How did you-
First of all, how did the two of you take it? Okay, so the recap of what you guys missed is Ella basically looked at him and said, "Well, this is an interesting sight for the middle of the night," and Crex was like, "Well, yeah." And Yip's response was basically,
Oh, for the people just joining, or for just joining, Crex and I had just finished robbing a jewelry store where I could not reach the top lock in the door, so Crex had to knock on the door in the middle of the night while I hid and pretended to be the tax man, wherein he rolled so good and our DM rolled so bad that the man just gave him 20 gold and a magic ruby because he thought he owed taxes.
So
because that's what
really,
happens at midnight.
so really, Crex robbed the store.
Crex robbed the store with some crazy persuasion. But Yip's response to Tempest was,
Yeah, so we were caught by Tempest, the other player, as we're coming out, and she's asking what we're doing, and I basically just told her, I just escaped from this guy's basement! And I rolled a natural 20.
so picking up with Yip's natural 20,
Which I have a question.
you have to roll an insight as an opposition. Yeah, what's the question?
Doesn't she know? So wouldn't he have to roll at disadvantage?
You know, it's a good point.
Actually, yeah, she did
Yeah,
see
you would have to roll a
she
disadvantage.
did see
You're
me
absolutely
breaking
right.
I was watching you the whole time.
16.
Jesus, okay.
And I rolled a 9 for insight, so
Oh my god.
I'm just gonna look at him and go, plausible deniability.
No,
Don't even tell me.
You can't make impossible stuff happen.
Yeah, so that's just, she's gonna be like,
doesn't
okay.
We're just gonna leave
We're
this
just
one
gonna glaze on past that.
I don't want to know.
So, to finish off our evening, what do the three of you do after that?
Well, the reason I am here is I heard you say something about a dragon's egg. Why don't we go back to the inn and you can tell me more?
Okay, but the last time I followed a woman to an inn, it ended up me getting the job. So,
What?
don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
I think you're totally safe.
I don't know. What do you think?
We gotta go over there anyways.
All right, I got my eye on you.
Oh, we're safe now.
Sounds lovely. Let's go.
You hear some rushing waves as you're walking, and you hear a, "Oh, they're so stupid," and then the waves recede out of your head.
Best kind, Mother.
What is this woman's problem?
Francis, is she helping to herself?
I think so.
I'm a little scared.
Yeah, me too.
It's kind of catchy though.
No.
You guys make it back to the Jovial Juggler. You guys enter. The tavern's cleared out a little bit more. There's still your typical drunkards. Most of your shipmates are asleep on the bar, drooling and dreaming of mermaids. The barkeep, where the large man stand back there, he's cleaning his glasses out for the night. Welcome back. Looking for your friend?
Which friend?
Joral Mend?
Yes. No, I wouldn't call him a friend. Can we get a couple of beers here? Or mead, or whatever you got still?
Well, roll persuasion.
So 18.
I suppose. It's after last call, but I can give you a round.
That's awfully nice of
He
you.
grabs 3 mugs. One way too big for you. Fills it with the strongest brew he's got. Lays it out on an empty part of the bar for you guys. Drink up.
So where is our friend Yarrow?
He's upstairs in his room. Went up for the night finally with all those women sitting at his table. Something weird about that guy if you ask me, but I don't know. He just showed up in town a few days ago.
Oh, he's only been in town for a few days.
Claims he's a traveling merchant, which is funny because I didn't see any goods on him, but
That's really interesting. I know most of the merchants in the area.
you're off the ship that came in, right?
Yes.
Well, could you go wake him up? We got something he'd probably be interested in.
Well, I look like your servant? Go knock on his door yourself.
Yip is kind of like grumbling. He's like, Fritz, you want to help me out here?
Of course.
So we start going up the stairs.
I'm gonna stay down here, like I said, plausible deniability.
The bar keeps cleaning out, watches him go up the stairs. I'm with you. And you guys get up there, and you remember the way, so you go down the hall, down to the end. And at the end of the hall is just this really nondescript looking regular door.
Trust me, it's a lot nicer on the inside.
Yeah, I trust you.
So I go up to the door and I just like, boom, boom, boom.
Nothing happens for a moment. And then eventually, a woman in a nightgown opens it. What do you want?
We got a little something for Georgie.
Who the hell is Georgie? This is my room.
You mean he's ain't one of the broads shacking up with him?
What? No! And she slams the door in his face.
But that was rude.
From down the end of the hall, you hear a, my friend. Perhaps you forgot where my room was. Come.
Yep, you're so good at your job.
Did you find what I was looking for? Come in, and who's your friend?
Oh, this is Mirage.
Oh, yeah.
A rather handsome fellow he is.
Enough.
All right, fair enough.
He's very bashful, see?
No, come in. He brings you in, and once again, there's nobody else in the room except for the same chick sitting in the same chair, cleaning out her fingernails.
You're doing that last time. You'd think by now they'd be clean.
Nervous habit. So, friends, he closed the door. Come in, sit. Now, you don't remember there being a table with 3 chairs, but there's a table with 3 chairs off to the right of the bed. You're pretty sure there was a pedestal there with a dragon egg, but there's some details.
Details.
We got what you were looking for.
May I see it before I give you the very valuable dragon egg?
Well, that depends. Maybe he sees a dragon egg first.
It's right there. He points over at the pedestal that even you were like, I wasn't there a second ago.
So, Yip walks over to the pedestal, and he taps on the glass a bit.
Okay. You've seen him. He opens it. Hold it, friend.
Alright. So, Yip takes the egg.
Same egg as before.
Yep. Can I actually inspect it closer this time and see if I can, like, if it matches the description of what I've heard so far of a dragon egg?
Sure. Roll an investigation on the egg and roll a knowledge to see what you remember about dragon eggs.
Appraisal used to be
So on the
Yeah.
investigation, it's a 10.
Okay.
And for knowledge, would that be like history?
Yeah, use history.
History is an 11.
Okay. So, this is a nice egg. It's a very, very nice egg. You think, from your recollection, that this is a dragon egg. I mean, it's about the right size, right? You know? There's something about the features that you can't quite remember. They're a little off, you think, but nah, you're pretty sure this is a dragon egg.
Yep, this looks like a dragon egg.
Hey, Yip, do me a favor. Lick it.
Joral's like,
That shit's on camera now.
tastes like an eggshell. Tastes like buffing compound too, like somebody's been like cleaning it regularly, taking very good care of it.
Okay.
Tastes like an egg.
I had my suspicions.
You had your suspicions whether or not it tasted like an egg?
Well, you don't need to worry about it.
Alright, did you have the ruby?
So I point to Crex.
I take it out of my pocket or wherever, and I just show him.
Okay. You show him the bag?
No, I take out the ruby.
Oh, you take...
Uh-oh.
You take the ruby out, you suddenly feel... Make a will save. Wisdom save.
We're never getting through the intro. We're never getting through this shit.
He tried to give it to you. He tried.
What's will?
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Oh,
Wisdom.
wisdom. 14.
Okay. You feel almost like this psychic lash of something that's like rah! From within the gem, but you kind of cut it off and you toss the gem over to him and he catches it. He goes, "It was very dangerous of you."
Oh, my bad.
Well, thank you, my little friend. You have your payment. You got your dragon egg, and I have what I need. The chick in the corner stands up, and suddenly his rather jovial, fat human appearance dissolves away, and before you stands a figure that is basically wreathed in shadow and ice. Looking at it, he won't be happy that I have this gem, but it's not his problem. Thank you, friends. You've been most. And he tosses the gem over to the chick, who also no longer looks like she did, but is now clearly a succubus. He looks at them. You've been most instrumental. And then both of you find yourselves back in the tavern room with the egg, and they're gone. Along with the ruby.
Yeah, we're not gonna say a word.
No, we are not.
I do not want to hear about this story.
Yeah, you do.
We're gonna discuss that after.
Okay.
There's gonna be some de-traumatization.
Did I see them just pop back in the room?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And the bartender passed the fuck out.
Okay.
He saw them and he was like,
I'm
Oh,
not
they're on the
really sure I want to know. But is that a dragon egg?
I'm pretty sure it is.
rushing waves enter your head. That's an ostrich egg. The waves rush back.
Kinda looks like an ostrich egg to me.
I told you I had my suspicions.
You told me to taste it.
I don't know, maybe it was a rock.
You told him to taste it?
Alright. Look, no more criticism.
This still ain't the worst payment we got from a job.
Alright. I'm going to bed. Good night. And I walk out.
With that, she goes to bed. Do you two also go to bed?
Yeah,
That's not bad.
yeah, that sounds good, right? To my little, I don't even know what you want to call it.
Your hovel of a room.
Yeah.
I mean, at least we got to breakfast.
I'm going to bed.
You got
That's
something
a
old,
good
man.
idea.
So she has a room here. He's got a room back at his end. Do you go with him? Or do you try to get a room here?
I'm just gonna go up to the room that the thing was previously in.
Okay.
I mean, it ain't occupied no more.
You go up there. You're like, man, where'd those double doors go? But you're pretty sure it was right here. So you open the door, you just barge in. There's actually nobody in this room. So, you know.
It smells like ash.
Night passes.
Little
Should
brimstone.
have asked for smoke free.
Thank God night is passing.
Dawn hits, and you guys are all breaking camp, getting ready. Your commanders are running about, shouting. Your general is walking through, who's also happens to be the head of the Order of Tyr. Where is your archdruid? And need to speak with him about his intel on the Crimson Chalice.
I look around for the other Iron Wolves and just look for somebody nearby. Can you go fetch Master Imnock?
And he runs off. He looks at you guys. Be ready. Scouts indicated that they're headed straight towards Vental. This is going to be a fight in the town. Do what you can to save the civilians. But spare no member of the Chalice.
It is so like them to attack the innocent.
Indeed.
My rule will touch them.
After a moment, Imnock arrives. You called for me, General. Yes, Archdruid. I need to speak with you in private. By private, he means like 20 feet away.
Right.
We can still hear.
So they move over there. You guys are welcome to try to make perception checks if you want to try to overhear them. Or you can decide you respect their privacy enough to not.
No.
I got a 15.
You mean like I respect their privacy? that was me.
I got
But
a 15.
Okay.
I had to roll shit and get an 8.
You hear some nice birds.
Did you write down the
I
birds?
did.
Okay, you didn't roll? Okay.
Birds are chirping.
So Vandal overhears them talking in hushed tones. My understanding is that this army will have one of Magias' seconds with them. And Imnock kind of leans back. This is troublesome, General. I will need to send a message to the others. If there truly is one of the remaining leaders of the Crimson Chalice, then he is bound to have artifacts upon him and be incredibly powerful. To the point where he might be able to wipe out half this army alone. I shall return in a moment. In the meantime, fortify the town. The General nods. Walks away and just shouts, "Get ready to move!" And he just moves back to the camp. Imnock, meanwhile, like basically just stalks off towards the nearest tree.
I start checking her armor and weapons to make sure they're tied in appropriately. And
Inappropriately?
Tied
Tied
in a
in.
Oh, tied in.
2 words, space. I know you rolled an 8 on your listening check.
hey, you didn't have to actually roleplay that part out. Jesus.
My bad. I forgot to put
Don't
birds.
worry, the commander believes we'll be fine.
I make a pointed eye contact with you.
And he unsheaths his greatsword.
Matthias was also standing there. He also listened. And he just kneels and pulls his sword. Kind of stabs on the ground, kneels.
I stand respectfully behind him.
And his sword lights up in golden flame. And all the paladins begin drawing their weapons and igniting their swords in the colored fire of their particular deity.
How close are we to the town?
You're within 2 miles.
2 miles. So
They're
we
gonna,
can
you're
see
about
it
to,
on the
you're,
horizon.
yeah, you're about to force march to the town.
Okay.
So after a few more moments, Imnock returns, looks over the general and nods, kind of looks at you. We will have reinforcements when the Chalice attacks. And then the call is made, and you guys hoof it. You force march it to the town. You get there in probably about half an hour and sort of begin staking positions. And while you're starting to set up, and the town is beginning to wake, and people are coming outside, and you guys get up, you hear like a thunderclap on the horizon. And, yeah.
I want to request orders into the poorer part of town.
Okay. Your captain, this is fine. Go. Keep the civilians safe, all of you. Take Morley and Jarl with you. Keep an eye on them.
I look at Imnock and just kind of and see if he approves for me to go with them.
Take a small contingent of Dragonians with you.
Yeah. So I gather them up and I follow behind.
Important note, now that he's in his Vandals in his armor and everything, he is clearly dressed and equipped as a shield breaker.
Okay.
Matthias comes to Mara and a few of the other paladins that you're standing near. We have orders to make sure that the civilians are safe. Our job right now is to sweep this perimeter on the outside and evacuate them either towards the lake or out of the town on the side we just came from, the eastern side. So you guys begin entering the town. Your positioning inevitably puts all of you near where you're staying. So when you come outside, you actually see these contingent of troops. You hear a thunderclap again on the horizon.
I don't remember storms.
There's not a cloud in the sky.
Can I roll a knowledge that I know what this is from everything I've learned about Crimson?
Yep.
Okay.
While he's doing that, am I with them or am I in a different part of town?
You're in the same section of town, but you are not like directly with them. Like
So you're with Matthias, I'm assuming.
Yes.
And we're like in a different part.
We're in the same
So
part
we're
of
in
town
the
doing
same-
a different job.
Okay,
Like
we're just
together.
on different ends
Like
of the same
different ends
quarter.
of the same part, yeah.
Okay.
I only got 12. I did history.
Okay.
I don't know if religion's better, but
There were stories about their leader who called himself Helm, but was in fact a false god and was the remnants of a mage called Magias who had consumed the mist into himself. That he could effectively do things like this, but he's been destroyed. So it's not clear to you what's causing the thunderclap sounds, especially since there are no clouds.
okay.
And there's nothing on the horizon that would indicate it either.
Okay, so as I come out of the inn, am I close to where
You actually run into those two.
those two?
As
Okay,
they're
so
instructing others to evacuate.
so
Helping people evacuate, but
Yeah.
also like fortifying barricades in like the roads that are inlets into the deeper sections.
Yep.
okay, so I would have heard you, say something about there's no clouds in the sky and all of that. So I'm gonna respond to that, and I'm like, that is not natural. That is definitely not a storm.
And then you hear waves. Gentle. You are correct. This is most unnatural, and likely the doing of an ancient artifact. Beware, my child. And the waves recede.
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. So,
You should probably evacuate with the rest.
but what's going on here?
The Crimson Chalice march.
It sounds like they've got some sort of big weapon, if that isn't natural.
Could be. But if no one stands and fight, everybody dies.
Well,
I would suggest you evacuate now.
I gotta get my men. So I'm gonna go back in and get my shipmates.
Okay. Yes.
Out of character, I wrote Lady in Street hums to herself.
Alright.
What does how is she dressed?
Oh, is Tempest dressed?
Yeah.
Like a sailor.
Yeah, like a sailor.
Okay.
I work on a ship.
Yeah, okay.
So I come out like shortly after her,
Mhm.
and I see these two. I'm like, "Hey, what's going on out here?"
So just so I realized I didn't actually describe Vandal earlier. Extremely large.
That part you said.
At this
Yeah.
point, he is wearing mostly scale mail with large sections of plate armor, and carrying a just ginormous greatsword. Long black hair, olive complexion, vivid purple, almost reptilian eyes.
So like I run out, and as I say that, I just kind of like I'm looking at your knee, like your knees, and I'm like, "Wow, you're a big one."
I literally come down to a knee. Should probably evacuate, little one.
What? What's going on?
War.
And with that,
So-
you suddenly, you guys are basically forming a perimeter on the north because that was the intel of where they were coming from. suddenly your northeastern side gets hit with multiple bolts of lightning. Again, called out of seemingly nowhere.
Now, due to the campaign setting and the low match, not very long before this, most of us have never seen anything like that, correct?
Correct. This would be entirely out of your depth for all of these characters.
It seems fate comes.
Ah, crap! I gotta find cracks! 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 So I run to.
You just start running around town screaming.
No, I start. Yeah, I run through town screaming cracks, like towards like where he's staying.
So it's the north. Where did we get hit? The north.
Northeast.
So yeah, the northeast.
Oh, and I'm still carrying the egg.
I don't have this one. This I don't have a close-up map of. Yes, you are still carrying the egg.
So I got a little lizard guy carrying an egg, screaming cracks, and calling me a giant.
Yes. Yeah.
Just wanted to summarize that.
Small
make sure I
lizard
had
goes
it.
yelling for cracks.
Hey. Just a slow Tuesday.
Just want to make sure I summarized that correctly.
Off in the distance, you
I'm
kind
not
of
so
hear.
sure about that berry.
So off in the distance, you hear.
I mean, mirage.
So I would like to be going through with the contingent that I'm with. Like, we'll be nearby. We'll just be telling. Once we see that, we'll telling citizens flee to the south.
So people start panicking as soon as that happens because it hit a building as well as the line that was forming up around the city.
Out of character, what building is hit?
A couple homes on the northeastern side of town.
I head to the houses.
Okay. Do you follow suit or do you hold position here, trying to move out?
Stay on this street because it's still like the port area.
Yeah.
But we'll head in that direction.
Okay. You come back out with your sailors.
Yes. I've got my hand axe out, and I'm gonna. If I see anybody that needs help, I'm definitely gonna be going to help and to help try to get everybody out. Since they're trying to usher people out, I'm gonna step in and start helping to usher.
Your first mate looks over at you. I'll get the ship ready. We'll depart quickly. And he basically takes, come on, and he takes, they all start booking it for the ship.
The first house we get to that looks like there might be anybody inside it, I'm literally going straight through the door and not actually opening it first.
Okay. Athletics check.
Before the lightning start, I had stepped aside with Matthias so that I could do my concentration spell, my prayer. I'm not a full paladin yet, so my sword is not glowing. But she doesn't do hers with the rest out of respect.
Okay.
18.
Alright, you basically barrel straight for the door and bust that motherfucker right off its hinges. And, crashes into the wall. And you can hear somebody calling for help upstairs.
Get there.
Alright. There is basically, one of the rafters collapsed in and is blocking the door. You're pretty sure you can move it. Although you'll have to make a constitution save because this place is rapidly filling up with smoke.
14 constitution save. Are we going to carry the 18 athletics over to holding the beam up?
Yeah.
Okay. Then he's just going to lift the beam.
Alright, so basically, with one arm, he just grabs it and, throws it to the side. And, you're waving him through, and basically the mother grabs her child, stays low, and gets out of the house.
Checking them as they're coming out.
Yeah, the mother's got a clear head wound, probably from the roof collapsing, and the child seems okay.
Okay. Do you want me to do a medicine check?
Yeah,
to make sure?
if you're going to patch her up, do a medicine check. There's nobody else in the house.
So after I've cleared the building, come out, make sure that she's got them handled.
Yep.
17 medicine check.
Yeah. Okay. You and Matthias, after that lightning strikes, you basically pivot to head to the same area where they are.
Okay.
And he sees the vandal basically coming out and going to the next house. And he looks at you. We'll take the one down. We'll take the next one after that. So he runs over and he basically kicks the door open and heads upstairs and he tells you to check the downstairs.
Right.
You can hear somebody coughing on your level. But you'll need to make a perception check to figure out where it is because the fire's roaring pretty hard upstairs.
Now we're playing D&D, motherfucker.
22.
Okay. Yeah, you pinpoint exactly where the person is. You make your way back into what is effectively like a kitchen. And
Mara's like a fucking predator.
I hear
rolled
your
an
heart
18.
beating through the wall.
I rolled an 18. My perception is, I'm deficient in my perception.
No, it was just that was one of the highest rolls we've had all night, so I'm like, damn!
I like this guy.
She really wanted to know.
If I could make the predator noise, I would do it. But basically, you make your way into the room. It's an elderly man who's like coughing and barely able to get up off the floor. There is a effectively part of his wall is like covering the lower part of his legs.
Okay. Can I do a medicine check?
Yep.
It's another 22.
Damn.
Are his wounds going to kill him?
No, but one of his legs is definitely broken.
Okay. How covered are his legs?
It's basically up to like mid-thigh. You're able to quickly clear the rubble away, which is basically how you were able to assess that his leg's broken.
Okay.
You think you might be able to carry him.
Alright. I'm gonna try to carry him. Sorry, that one did not want to come off my hand.
The way she's like, get off of me!
She got stung by a bee.
13 athletics.
Okay. So you're able to basically get yourself underneath of him and get his arm over you, and effectively kind of pull him up that way, and kind of walk him on your back, so to speak. And you make your way towards the front, just as Matthias is coming downstairs with a number of other people. He's a little singed from the fire, but he's relieved to see you, that you're alright.
Since I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Since I'm staying on the street, do I still see her?
Yes.
Okay. So, along with anyone else I see, I'm telling them to evacuate to the south. So when I get to you, are you not joining your shipmates?
No, I'm helping. I'm gonna help get people out.
We saw lightning to the north. Check there. We have friends.
Okay, I'm gonna head up to the north.
Actually, would you like assistance?
Absolutely.
My men can hold here, and I'll go with her.
Okay. You and Matthias get outside. And he's assessing the situation.
As he's assessing, I'm doing lay on hands.
Okay.
For the one with the broken leg.
Okay. That soothes his pain, mends some of the wounds, the physical wounds from the stuff falling. You'll have to do another medicine check to brace his leg, though, so he can maybe walk a little easier, or at least with assistance. Matthias looks around. I don't understand. Lightning strikes. This is magic, but I don't see any of the chalice.
My medicine check was 17.
Okay. So you you basically use some linen nearby, and you basically break a crate and make a splint for his leg.
As I'm doing that, I ask Matthias, can you detect them? Can you feel them?
I feel nothing other than impending doom.
It's comforting.
Did I hear that?
Yeah.
He says this out loud enough for
Do the people around us hear?
the citizens are like looking worried, and he pauses for a moment. He sees their faces. But fear not, for Tyr is with us this day. We shall defeat the chalice.
So convincing.
Correct.
I'm looking at the rest of our men and being like, we hold.
You wake up to the commotion in the city, people screaming, running. What do you do?
Well, I guess I go try to look outside. Like, do I recognize this
Probably wants to know
lightning?
what Yip did.
Actually,
It's like he's not
Yip is,
wrong.
at this point, Yip is here, right?
He's running through the streets. He hasn't gotten to you yet.
Screaming your name.
Screaming.
Do you poke your head out the window?
Yeah.
Alright.
Does the lightning wake me up?
Yeah, basically those thunderclaps woke you up.
I mean, I guess I'm just looking outside, trying to see where the lightning came from.
Yeah, so you're looking in the sky. There's no clouds, but you can clearly see that stuff's on fire on the northeastern end of town from where you're staying.
Yeah, I guess I try to find Yip.
Okay.
Causing all the commotion in the street.
Just how big is this town? Like, when we go to the north part, how long did that take us?
It took you like 10 minutes.
Okay. 10 minutes?
Or 5 minutes, sorry. 5
Okay.
minutes. Not 10 minutes, sorry. 5 minutes.
Alright.
Damn.
It's not that big of a town.
37 minutes.
As you come downstairs, the innkeeper's standing by the door, just looking outside. What did you do?
Oh yeah, I did this.
Well, you're the new guy in town.
And
Well, I mean, look, you show up and stuff's on fire.
that's a really unhealthy way to think.
I love how he says that, knowing that there's all these different army units marching.
So at that point, can I run into
Yes.
the bar? Okay, so I run into the bar screaming, Grix, we gotta go! There's war and lightning! It might be our fault!
And you're friends with a rat?
I do this.
Ross.
Rush, it might be our fault!
Alright, let's try to get out of here.
Just said it might
Might be our fault. So the innkeeper, you guys go past. I knew it. I knew you were behind it. And an Iron Wolf comes up and looks at him. Leave now.
I turn back and I look at the innkeeper in his eyes. I said,
That was the worst service of my life.
Get your 10 copper back.
I love how in the middle of a war zone, you just took the time for a Yelp review.
Worst place ever. Straw mattresses. No window.
do not recommend.
10 out of 10, do not recommend.
Half a star.
Oh my
Sleight
god.
of hand to try and nick the copper from the innkeeper. as
Oh,
I'm
to
running.
nick his purse?
Yeah, as I'm running by.
Roll it.
What?
Now he wants your money too.
Operations don't cease.
19.
Done.
Oh my gosh.
You'll count it later, but effectively, you not only get his 10 copper back, but you basically get the rest of the innkeeper's income for the week.
Which
So-
was that 10 copper?
Yeah, so you got like a total of like 5 silver.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
But which way are you running? Like back out the way you came into town through the east? Are you running north? Are you running towards the harbor? Like which way are you going?
I don't even know what my first reaction would be.
Were you always the one that was good with directions?
I don't know what's going on.
Let's go that way!
Alright.
All right, you guys begin running towards the harbor. As you approach the harbor square where you are, you see them coming because they're some of the people sort of fleeing.
And they stick out.
And so you'll hear me yelling that the Chalice are attacking. Front, flee to the south.
So he basically moves towards you to give you these instructions, and as he does, there's another thunder crack, and all of a sudden, probably about 20 feet from you, there's another lightning strike, followed by a pillar of flame, and half the guys that were with you in the Iron Wolves are basically knocked unconscious, torn asunder, or thrown about. You get knocked off your feet, and as the flame disappears, you see a heavily armored figure wielding in one hand a warhammer that's cackling with electricity. In the other hand, he's got a longsword that is wreathed in a black flame. He's wearing a purple tabard with a red chalice on it.
Do I know what that means?
Yes, you know exactly what that means. That means that he is one of the remaining generals of the Crimson Chalice. And you also know that means he's wielding powerful magical artifacts, which are only getting stronger now that magic is returning to the world at large.
Right.
So I am with him. So I'm going to go, what the hell is going on?
Do not attack this man. He's very dangerous. And I look around, do I have any of my Iron Wolves guys still up?
There are others on the periphery that have seen this and are now coming in to encircle the square.
Get Master Imnok. Tell him the general is here.
You can see one of them run off. The Dragornians come in and basically form a phalanx around him to seal off the square, and he just kind of looks around.
Is this happening in front of me?
Yeah.
You're literally...
You're in the
told you
circle,
the
bro.
challenge.
Two of you are trapped in the circle.
I just
5
told you-
feet from him.
Yeah, I just told you the Chalice are attacking. They showed up.
The chalice are coming.
The leader of the Chalice
are
looks
coming.
around. Such a paltry welcome for one such as I. And he looks down at you. You are right to be afraid and to tell her not to challenge me.
I'm not afraid. I'm just not stupid.
Perhaps we will see.
Other.
Flip.
Oh, my.
Flip.
So just for everyone on stream, like one of the ways that we communicate secret information that we don't want other people to see, you'll see us pass these notebooks to the DM, and that's how we kind of do sneaky things.
So he, you can just see him crack a smile under his helm. And then suddenly he kind of grips the hammer tighter and twists it a little bit. And all of a sudden his voice booms throughout the town. Chalice! Attack! And then at that point, all of a sudden, portals spring up, and Crimson Chalice members literally, like, pop out everywhere. And now the town is flooded with
Yeah,
them.
they do. Let's get it, bitches.
Let's do initiative rolls so that we can go in particular order for combat.
Is Matthew?
No.
Do you want me to roll a separate map?
I'll run Matthews. I got him.
Always roll those. Initiative.
My
Stephanie,
initiatives are
I
always
have
better.
you beat. I have you beat this time.
Guess we'll find out.
No, trust me.
She's like, no, trust me. I got you beat.
Alright, so who got above a 20? Alright. 24 you said, right? What'd you get?
24.
What are your dexes?
Plus 4.
Okay.
Rogue.
Hey,
Okay. Alright. Mirage is first in the order.
Trapped behind a...
Vandal's next. Alright,
How
who
fast
got...
are you?
no, you're trapped in a circle of
Oh.
other Dragornian
Wonder how fast Mirage is gonna
shield
run away.
masters. Remember during the low match campaign when Colleran flexed and said, "Fuck you, I'm taking this entire elite legion into the." Now you know who you're surrounded by.
Alright, who got between 15 and a 20?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, okay. What's your dex?
Why did we all roll
It
up?
wasn't good.
Okay. So
Wait,
actually,
Wait,
The kobold's
wait,
going before us.
am I reading that right?
Maybe EG.
Okay, that's what that said.
Hang on. Yip goes first.
Listen.
Okay, so there's at least 3 of us going first.
3 people will run away.
So we have to read right to
Yeah.
left.
Yeah,
Okay.
so from this
Oh, yeah,
direction
yeah,
goes.
Okay.
Vandal's not running,
Here,
right?
for now, I'm going to take this off.
Oh, okay.
Fire.
Sure, what confusion.
No, I'm realizing
Okay,
he's
who
gonna
got
have to fall
between 10 and
separated.
15? What'd you get?
11.
11.
Oh,
Yeah, I
What?
won't be in the.
Wow. Wow.
This is the Chalice and all your other troops.
Do you like how I numbered them for you?
Yes, I appreciate
It's
that.
like I love you or
That's very nice.
something. Yeah.
And below a 10. What do we got?
5.
She beat you?
You know what?
I got an 8.
His is legit. He's on the ground. Okay?
I beat him. I got an 8.
Congrats.
Wait, did he get knocked down?
Yeah, he did.
When the guy came.
1. Okay.
Oh.
You're not last.
Okay,
You
good.
just oblivious.
Wow.
Well, I was healing. I'm in the process of healing the guy, so
Yeah.
I'm delayed.
Yeah.
All right.
Physically, not mentally.
Crix, what do? You got a big ugly and a bunch of smaller uglies.
Can he see our position from where we are?
No, because I think
Not so well. You guys can see the town square better than they can see.
I have a question before this starts.
Yeah.
How many portals are around us? Are the portals still open? Are people still coming through them? And just how many chalice are we talking about?
Basically, you have enough chalice that the phalanx around you is outnumbered 2 to 1.
Okay.
The portals are open for but a moment as all the chalice pour into the town, and then they close.
Okay. All right.
Oh, another situation. I have no clue what to do. Because he's never been in anything like this.
Crix is like, bitch, I'm level 1.
I'm a rogue.
So, like, I understand that this isn't the best move, but can I, like, run out of the circle?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
It's an authentic move.
I'm gonna
I
do
was about
that.
to say that makes sense.
The Dragornians part to let you through.
Oh, thank goodness. Do I need to roll? I don't need to roll.
You don't need to roll anything.
Okay.
Just tell me how far you're going to move.
I guess my wait, how your speed is how much you can move, right? That I feel like that's dumb.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can run you can use an action to run twice as fast.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
So you're running 60 feet.
Yes.
All right. What's your arm class?
15.
Okay. One Chalice member swings at you as you run past, because as you break through the Dragornian lines, you have Chalice members in front of the phalanx with the big guy, and then you have others behind them. So not everybody's completely engaged yet, but one swings at you and he nicks you on the arm, deals 3 damage.
Okay.
The only thing I don't have right now on these new flags, names on the back.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, sorry. I'll fix
So you
that.
guys just have to tell me who's next, because I'll forget.
Handle.
All right.
All right. So I want to take our group and kind of move them forward to reinforce the back of the phalanx,
Okay.
and also keep the phalanx from being flanked directly from behind.
Okay. So as you're doing that, there are a few Chalice in your way. You
No,
got.
there aren't.
Okay.
Ain't nothing stopping you, bro. 14 to hit.
That's a hit.
Great weapon, master. It improved it by 1. 13 damage.
All right. You basically this guy squares up on you. He tries to go in low with a sword, and your response is to lop his head off.
Yeah.
The other guy, morale failure, runs.
I mean,
What? Vandal's a big dude.
one swing, head gone. I would
Yeah.
stick around.
I mean, see your buddy get decapitated tends to do that.
Yep.
With one swing too. Who's next?
Yep.
Okay. So what I want to do is I have a bag of 1,000 ball bearings. I want to throw it in the direction of the guy in purple, and then run the other way.
Absolutely.
It's okay, you're not there to see it.
Oh, I know him.
Oh, he is. That's the worst part.
No, he's running.
Let's see. You want just make an athletics to do the toss, the throw.
10.
All right, yeah. You lob the bag, it breaks on the ground, right in front of him. So basically, he's standing there. It hits, and he looks down, and the ball bearing just kind of go everywhere. And he looks back up, and now you're on the other side of the phalanx because you were at 30 feet. And he just. Who's next?
Big bad.
Big
Oh.
bad.
Big bad.
Well, he goes. Interesting. Kind of swings the hammer down. It collects all of the ball bearings, sort of magnetically grabs them in. And he goes, let's see if this works. And he just basically swings it and launches your ball bearings like shotgun pellets at everybody in front of him.
Thank you. Yep, you just invented this.
You take
shotgun.
4 damage, and you take 6 damage, and most of the phalanx guys, and you get one in your ass for 2 damage.
Not them cheeks.
He follows that up by swinging by spinning around and swinging that black flame sword at the other side of the phalanx, and it unleashes a wave of black fire that engulfs them on the other side. You can also hear some of the Chalice members screaming as they all get burned with this particular fire. He turns back. You think you can stop me? Who's next?
Tempest.
That would be me.
Oh, Tempest, you're up.
Okay, so he's running.
He's running.
He's running.
With a bullet in his ass.
You're mending somebody.
Yeah, they started all of this as I was mending
Okay.
an old man.
I'm fighting.
You're fighting.
I haven't gone yet.
She hasn't
so
gone
it's
You
kinda
haven't gone yet.
different.
You haven't gone yet. Okay. So all these portals have opened up. So are people still fleeing?
Oh yeah, people are running for their lives.
Okay. So
You can also hear them screaming as they're being cut down throughout the town because of the Chalice just popping up everywhere.
So as people are fleeing, though anybody that is, within 60 feet of me trying to get away, is there a bunch of Chalice people right behind them?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So what I'm going to do as a bonus action is Tentacles of the Deeps. So a 10-foot tentacle just appears out of nowhere, and it's going to be between people fleeing and whatever Chalice is coming at them. So first, that tentacle is going to attack whatever Chalice is right near them.
One of them straight up falls down as it gets totally shocked by this bluish purple tentacle that just pops up out of the ground. Looks like, like a kraken tentacle.
Okay, so let me.
Definitely seeing that interesting.
I just rolled a 1 for it,
My
so
Well, it
that
effectively
attack
knocked one dude down.
and
But it misses.
Yep.
Just wide over their heads.
Okay.
I think I saw this in Sailor Moon.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm not using that one right now.
Hentai. Or was it
And
hentai?
then I'm going
What
to
was that?
then I'm gonna Eldritch Blast.
Who are you Eldritch blasting?
I'm going to Eldritch Blast. I really, you know what? I'm impatient, and I'm sorry. But Big Baddie pissed me off.
Let's go.
Let's get it.
Well,
Do
he
it.
Yeah, So I'm going to Eldritch Blast. Please be better. Thank you. 16. So I'm going to do one. Let's try you.
I'm so glad I ran.
Yeah, 3/4.
All right. So basically, you summon this, like, it almost looks like a tidal wave being sent out at him, and it's kind of in the back of his neck.
Ow.
He turns
Oh.
to look at you. Cute.
Well, don't worry.
Who's next?
Monster
Talia.
one.
No, I'm live.
Oh, Monster One.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically at this point,
Trying to skip him.
the Chalice, Iron Wolves, the Paladins, they're all engaging. There is another member of the Chalice that appears and kind of gets ready to cut you guys off. He's wearing a silver tabard with the red Chalice on it. So this is one of the lieutenants, basically, captains of the Chalice. And he's wielding a big tower shield, and basically a spear. And Matthias just takes one look at him. Fuck you. Jake 2, Bruno 0. Basically, he smiles. He goes, "I'll hold this one. Help them." And he basically runs straight up, faints, and then just crashes into the guy. He backs like he's going to try to go around him. And the guy kind of moves the spear to account for it, and then he just dives straight into him. And they crash into a house.
Oh, man.
Sure.
He literally just, I'm so proud. He said, fuck your shield.
Pretty much.
The rest of the Chalice and Iron Wolves begin fighting. At first, the Chalice has the upper hand because of the surprise attack, and they're all over the place. But very quickly, the armies of Temervin, the Paladins, and the Iron Wolves are sort of able to, over this next few seconds, kind of regain their footing. The other thing that happens is Imnok appears. And basically rushes into the center where the big guy is. And he looks over at him and he goes, "We will make short work of you." He pulls his giant maul off his back. We defeated your master. We can easily defeat you. And then he basically summons rock and covers his entire body with it. And makes one big swing and knocks a dude right off his feet onto his ass. Who's next after the kind of commotion of people? Talia.
Okay. So when Matthias ran, how far did he get from us? Like, he's no more than like 60 feet from us.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. He's within
Okay.
60 feet.
So she's actually gonna like close her book and sort of tuck it into like her robe, and she's gonna pull out her flute.
Okay.
And she's gonna like play a little like a few little notes, and basically send her bardic inspiration over to Matthias. D6. That's a bonus action. Are there chalice around us at all?
Yeah, there's
There are.
still some around you.
So
Many of them are engaged with other members of your army, but
okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'm going to the nearest one to me, basically cast Shatter.
Okay.
So Constitution save, please.
What?
I'm casting Shatter.
16.
You can't cast
Yeah,
me.
so then you appear right there.
You can't cast me.
Sorry,
16.
Okay, so you beat it. However, it is half damage.
Oh, you're a teeny tiny little dice.
So 18, half of that is 9.
All right, yeah.
So 9, I think it's what? 9.
You can hear the bones breaking
9 thunder.
in his body as he gets knocked on the ground. He's still alive, but just barely.
He not have it.
And he not getting up. Who next?
Ren.
So I'm kind of like, I guess I have to use my action to stand up. Because you said I was knocked down.
Actually, it is...
Half your movement.
Half your movement.
Okay. While I'm getting up, I would like to search around for some stones so that I can cast magic stones.
Yep, there's definitely...
and as I'm
I would even let the any of the bearings that bounced off armor count.
Okay. If I find one of those, that's great. As I'm standing up, I'm looking at him, and I'm like, for what full purpose have you and your paltry forces come? The Crimson Chalice are a blight of Athkar. They're not welcome here.
Your master knows why we are here, as he's fighting Imnok.
And since
The world has awakened. I can feel the artifact from here.
and since it only takes half my movement, I can go ahead and attack him with that. I'm just gonna attack him.
Yep.
I don't care. And I'm probably not gonna hit him. A 13.
Dink.
Okay.
Right off his helmet.
Okay.
He doesn't even notice or react to it.
Wow.
Gotta love level 1.
Rude.
So rude.
I'm gonna use the rest of my turn to back away from where he is, toward the line.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I know Imnok's gonna want me out of the way.
Right. Alright, Mara.
Who's the closest chalice to me?
There's one within 10 feet of you.
Excellent. $15.
That's a hit.
Cool.
Remind me again what your weapon is.
It is a longsword.
Okay.
3 damage.
All right. So he thinks he's gonna sneak up on you, just because your back was turned initially and you were mending the guy's leg. But the next thing he knows, you basically come up from a kneeling position and slash him right across the face.
I said back up.
And I stand to face him. Which is probably all I
What are you doing?
So, am I closer to like the boats and the docks or whatever, or am I kind of like?
No, the
out?
way you ran was away from the boats. You were headed towards the boats, and now you ran away.
How close am I to this innkeeper again?
Oh, you,
Oh, poor innkeeper.
you don't see him
60 feet,
anywhere.
'cause you swim
You
on
don't
your
see him
bed.
anywhere nearby, and it's kind of hard to hear the distinctive.
Is there a barrel?
There's plenty of barrels. Yeah.
I'm gonna hop in it.
All right.
As one would.
You use an action to kick over a barrel and empty its contents, and basically climb inside of it very uncomfortably.
Yes.
I told you to flee south.
I wasn't listening.
Craig's is now hiding in a barrel.
Yes.
He
Like
heard
you
hide
do.
in barrel.
This makes me think of that thing.
Tom and Jerry.
It makes me think of that part in Wind Waker where you had to sneak into
Yeah.
the fortress and you had to put the barrel on you.
See, I went solid, Metal Gear Solid, where you're hiding in a box.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, there's that.
See, this is the difference between Sony people and Nintendo.
Vandal.
Vandal.
Oh, we going to the next one.
All right.
Get out the way.
Well, good. Hugh Ludicrous.
19 to hit.
That's it.
12 damage.
Okay. Basically, you run up on another guy, and he goes to swing at you, and you lob his arm off. And then punch him in the face to get him out of your way.
Yep.
What kind of sword this
I'm-
guy do? Got
It's a great sword.
Yeah. And he's rolling high damage.
Yeah.
I'm actually not, but Great Weapon Fighter says that you can reroll 1s and 2s on damage. So
Yeah,
I'm in.
so yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So I was running the same direction he was running.
Yes, you would have seen him kick the barrel over and hide in it.
Okay. What do I see around me?
There are Chalice members fighting Iron Wolves.
Just like all over.
Yep.
Make the right call. Hide in the barrel.
There's not room in his barrel, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. You gotta get in the barrel.
Hide in another barrel. I'm gonna, so as a bonus action, I'm gonna kind of like, as I'm going, and I see cracks in the barrel, I'm gonna say, "Cracks, we gotta get out of here, man!"
Do you know where to go?
Oh, anywhere's better than here. I mean, look what's going on. They're like right there.
All right. I kick the bottom of the barrel out and I stand up. I'm like, let's go.
Carry in the barrel.
What?
Got your barrel armor.
Please make an athletics check to kick the bottom of the barrel out while you're in it.
Oh no! Oh no! You said what?
Athletics.
9.
Okay. So you managed to not fall over, but you only managed to get 1 foot out of the bottom. So you're kind of hopping in the barrel.
Less of a target. I like it.
Bob and weave, bob and weave.
Yeah, now
Does
they
the
can look
innkeeper
up
just
one
come out of
by one.
nowhere and be like, "Not so funny now, is it?"
All right. Who's next? The Big Bad Evil?
Yep.
Okay. He is basically fully focused on Imnock at this point, and just unleashes a barrage of attacks that breaks off a good chunk of the armor. And once he has sort of an opening, he kicks him to push him back. And he just points the sword at him. I warned you, Druid. My power increases with every day. And Imnock just kind of looks at him. So does ours. Who's next on the initiative?
That would be me.
Okay.
By the way, that is the most I've heard him not talk since the beginning of the
Alright, so I'm gonna move my 10-foot tentacle to block off more crimson
Okay.
fighters.
Yep.
So I can move whatever the next section of crimson fighters is going after any civilians.
Okay. Yeah, you successfully distracted the last group enough that those civilians got away.
Okay, good. And then I'm going to strike at them. Is on let's see. Yeah, it's 10 foot long, so.
Yep.
That's much better. 23 to hit.
That is a hit.
No, let me.
As you're doing that, by the way, as you're rolling your damage, your shipmates have basically come back from the ship armed with crossbows and are assisting by shooting Chalice members from the docks.
As they should. 5 damage.
As I will it.
Wait a second. No, I'm sorry. I did that one wrong. It's this one. So it is 3 cold damage, and its speed. Their speed is reduced by 10 feet
Fuck
Okay.
until the start of my
Oh,
next.
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
My next turn.
So this tentacle whips around just like slaps one right in the face.
Yeah.
And
It's chilly weather.
yeah, but and then like basically you see the explosion of frost just like hit him.
Yep. Okay, and then if any of the are there any crimson around me?
Yeah, there's plenty.
Okay, so the closest one to me, I'm gonna Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
And then that's is that a 10? Yeah. Gotta love level 1.
There you go.
So that's 10. Force damage.
So you basically and
Flash a hole in the
yeah, just basically hit a Chalice member like right in the throat and blast a hole in it, and he just falls to the ground.
Yay!
He didn't need to speak.
You briefly get you briefly get waves in your head, the sound of rushing waves. They are coming. Well, this should be most interesting. And then the waves recede.
Is she helping me roll the fight? This chick is weird.
I made note of it.
Who's next?
I said in our notes, she's weird.
Monster one.
Okay, so again, this is the everybody fighting. Iron Wolves kill more Chalice. The army is making advances. The Chalice are basically being forced into the dock area. A lot of Dragornians have gone down just because they have been flanked from both sides. They've been hit by the big bad evil guy with a bunch of stuff.
Not my group.
But
Shadows Rough Riders.
they're still holding strong, trying to contain the bulk of these, the stronger guys here at the docks. You still haven't seen Matthias, like where he is, through the fighting. Who's next?
Me.
Go ahead, Telly.
Any Chalice around us?
No, you guys have a fairly, now that he took out those two, and Mara's got the one, and Matthias dove the other guy into a building, you have a fairly clean shot to be able to get back to the square.
Okay, so then I'm gonna start heading towards the square.
Okay. Is that, you're taking your full movement to do that? You're gonna run, or?
No, I'll just take my full movement to walk in that direction.
Okay.
Hurriedly.
With
If you run
purpose.
too fast, I can't catch up to you, so.
With purpose.
With purpose.
With much determination. Who's next?
Ren.
Me. This time I'm gonna direct my question at Emnock. Master Emnock, what do we do? And I throw a healing healing word at him for whatever matters. And I do 5 healing.
He's standing back up. He quickly looks at the sky when you ask that question. There are storm clouds beginning to form over the entire town.
Daddy knows who that is.
And he goes, hold our position.
Weather the storm.
Yeah.
Wait a little longer.
who's about.
I'm
Mark.
not.
Oh, that's right. That's
Oh,
like
sorry,
a
right.
healing word's like a bonus action.
Yeah, it's a bonus
Yeah,
action.
that's a thought.
Sorry, soul.
So, since I backed up before, am I close enough to the ring where I can see enemies now, Chalice, like in range to attack?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I like to get in range of it as many as I can for Thunderwave.
Okay. You're able to find a group of 4.
Okay, great. So save 15.
Okay. Niet. Dice are doing me dirty tonight.
7 thunder damage. They're all pushed away 10 feet.
Okay.
Sweet.
And the
What spell was that?
thunder wave.
Oh,
Underwear.
that's how you use it without killing your party.
I thought I'd see it.
You didn't use it away.
I only did it once.
It knocks. You hit all 4 of them. One actually dies from the blow because he's already wounded. And he gets like flung.
At this point, like clearing out a position, I'm kind of like taking up ranks in the line because he said to basically hold his area.
Hold
And
the
that's what
area.
I'm doing.
I was
Right.
thinking Team Rocket blasting off.
Who's after Ren?
Mara.
Mara.
Does a 15 hit?
Yes.
Alright, I do 6 damage.
All right, and you got him.
Excellent. I turn to the family that I was protecting, and I say, and I bark orders at them. Pick him up. Take him south, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take him south now, and then I go in search of Matthias.
Okay, so you basically run to the building where he is. You can see him. He has killed the Chalice member, but he himself is kind of leaning back up against the wall, just laying hands on himself. He sees you. Well, I got one at least. Grabs a sword and kind of pulls himself up. I'm wounded, but not that bad.
Do you want me to roll perception to see if he's lying?
Yeah, roll an insight. Yep,
Insight.
It's on your skills.
Insight.
Yeah, no, I misread it.
No.
9.
9. Okay. You've known him long enough that you think he might be bullshitting you, but you can't quite suss out whether he is or not in the heat of
It's
battle.
like when we all look at each other and go, "We're fine."
No, we always know that's
Fine.
bullshit.
It's a battle. I'm not gonna push it.
So he's like, "Come on," and you guys basically start following the rest of them. So that brings us back to the top, right?
Yes.
Remember, he's got to go protect Vandal now.
Mr. One Leg through the bottom of a barrel.
I'm going to make an action to try to push the other leg out.
Okay.
Okay, why not just
If it gets
free your other leg?
19.
Boom! Just kicks the bottom out, and he's like, "All right, I'm ready to go."
Let's go.
I can run like a cartoon character now.
Yeah.
With a barrel around my waist.
So I'm basically leading him like towards where we came into town,
Okay.
just like running through alleys and stuff to try to avoid the fighting.
Okay. All right, yeah, you guys are basically ducking in and out, weaving, dodging the Chalice members. And as you think you're making a good distance, all of a sudden, an errant bolt of lightning from the central square hits the roof above you and causes you both, knocks both of you prone as debris falls onto you, knocking you both unconscious.
Is the egg okay?
We'll
But is
find
the
out.
egg okay?
Yeah.
Can I see that from where I am?
No, because they're in an alleyway. All right, who's third? Is that you?
No, well, it's Mirage, then Vandal, then Yep. So technically,
Okay, all right, got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're up.
Alright, what do I see around me?
Basically, at this point, you are in that central square by the docks, and you can see Imnok fighting the big guy. Dragornians are still kind of holding the line.
Have I been able to reinforce the back ranks of the
Yes,
Dragonians
you've been
with my guys?
between you and Renthal and Tempest. You guys have been able to clear out some of behind the Dragornians that are holding that northern and eastern section of the circle.
Okay.
So most of what you're seeing now is either inside of the circle, or you can kind of circle southward to get around the other side and clear the back of that.
Which direction should we go?
Start clearing the back down around the south again.
Okay.
I want to reinforce the Iron Wolf line as much as I can.
Okay. Okay. That is a hit on one of the Chalice members.
13.
Freaking reroll.
How do you want to do it?
Huh?
The
That
freaking
one?
reroll.
No, it's 2d6.
Oh, okay.
That's
I thought
that's
you-
why I'm able to do
Oh,
so
yeah.
much damage.
Yeah.
Is I have a 19 strength.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going shoulder to hip.
All right. You just cleave him right in half.
Vandal absolutely has a crazed look in his eye, but also kind of a crazy focused look. If that makes any sense.
So they managed to somehow not break morale, even though you just cleaved a dude in two. So you don't scare anybody off.
He's giving him that Haka scream.
All right, who's up next? The big bad evil.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's Krog smash.
So-
Ciphering his energy.
As he's fighting
I'm
Imnok,
bringing it, bro. Hey.
suddenly Imnok basically drops his hammer, shoves his hands in the ground, and forms the earth up around his legs so he can't move. So now the guy's like, he's kind of smashing it. The storm clouds are now dark and thick. And all of a sudden, you hear the loudest thunderclap ever. And a lightning bolt strikes behind him, but this one doesn't actually, like, it's controlled lightning somehow, right? There's no excess damage like when he struck.
Who's standing?
And as it dissipates, there's a mage. Robed. However, she does not look human. She looks like an elemental. And Imnok looks over. Nice to see you, Phelan. And she nods. And then immediately proceeds to light the dude up. Another teleportation comes in. And there's a mage standing there in a white robe with a mask, a metal mask with 2 teardrops on it. He kind of looks around and assesses the situation. And he goes, finally, this moment feels right to unleash this. And he begins casting a spell and basically drawing energy from all around him. And you can see the energy coming in. Suddenly a shield kind of forms around him. And that energy begins to pulse outwards violently. It doesn't harm any of you, but you can see it like incinerating Chalice members. The big guy kind of is looking around, and now like these bolts of lightning are starting to come down and raining down on his guys. So, in essential act of desperation, he chucks the hammer at Kron. And Kron basically sees it coming, tries to dodge, gets clipped in the shoulder, but it disrupts his spell, and essentially it explodes. Takes out portions of the town, kills a bunch of Iron Wolves, members of the army, paladins. Matthias shields you and basically gets thrown. He basically shoves you into a building, and he gets like thrown across the square, bounces, and clatters at the other end. The ships in the harbor basically like damn near capsize from the energy exploding off of it. Most of you guys are knocked off your feet. You stumble towards the bad guy, who sees an opportunity and swings his black sword at it. Vandal rushes in and takes the strike right into his clavicle and just kind of stands there looking at him. Falls to his knees. Imnok walks over and like reinforces his hands, grabs the dude's head, and snaps his neck. Any remaining Chalice members that aren't dead basically surrender at that point, and the battle's over. You're all pretty injured. You guys are unconscious. Anybody else is knocked to their ass, is injured. The next thing most of you remember is you're waking up in a hospital tent.
Does that include me, or did I?
You are included, yeah.
Okay.
And you're all in the same section with each other. Yeah, all of you.
Vandal
included.
does not actually wake up. He's literally still laying there bleeding.
Yeah, Vandal's unconscious. The clerics are basically furiously trying to close the wound. Their healing magic, for some reason, isn't exactly cutting it. Imnok is there, tending to the wounded, and he notices that you stir. And he comes over. Renthal, can you hear me?
Yes, Master Enoch.
I was afraid that you had been killed.
So was I.
Unfortunately, that artifact he was wielding was powerful enough to disrupt Kron's spell. And it is a very, very powerful spell.
It seemed impossible to concentrate on. I cannot even imagine.
Perhaps we'll get a chance to ask him about it sometime, but for now, rest.
So he looks at him, and he tries to pull out a good berry, but he doesn't have any. And he's like, "What about you?"
Imnok smiles. I will be fine, my son. And he gets up and he moves on to the next person. Talia, you and Tempest are basically on either side of Vandal, and you guys sort of wake up next.
Is he gonna live? Is there any way to help him?
The priest looks over at you.
Way to play that one up. I love it.
I'm afraid his wounds are grievous. We have been told that there is a cleric on his way that can perhaps heal this, but he will be one of the few. The blade that he was struck with is my understanding, which is not much, a very grave and dangerous artifact.
I'll stay here with him until he wakes up.
Tali's gonna sit up in bed. And basically, is there a chair? How close is his bed to hers? Like, basically, she's going to sit in a way so that she's like right next to his head.
You can basically pull your cot over.
Okay, so I'm basically gonna be there and like just whispering in his ear. Like, just like trying to talk to him. And stuff like that,
He's
but
pretty much-
trying not to like. I don't want anybody else to hear what I'm saying to him.
Okay, yeah, you're trying to whisper it.
Right.
He's pretty much non-responsive. He continues to moan and groan. They continue changing his dressings and applying healing magic, but you get a glimpse when they remove, both of you get a glimpse when they remove the bandage, the necrosis that's already happening along the wound. So, if you're like, what little you know, looks bad.
Yeah, I'm just gonna assume that he's like on death's door.
After a few minutes, Phelan comes in. Her energy is calmed, but she still looks like an elemental. I mean, she was an air elemental, right?
Yeah.
She's still kind of the swirling aspect of the way she looks.
More of a tempest.
I'm
She,
surprised to see somebody that has sort of the same feeling that I have with the air movement.
But it's like
Hers is
you're
like 100 times and more.
yeah
intense.
you're
Right.
noticing it's even
I'm, like,
more intense for her.
fascinated.
So she comes in, show me the wound. They peel it back. She kind of grimaces. She reaches out and touches like the wound, and as she pulls back, you can almost see this like murky purple energy try to follow her finger. She starts healing. She starts casting heal spells. And she also starts kind of drawing some of the energy out. Kron is here with her. He follows her in. And as she's drawing the energy out, he produces a gem, and they start kind of siphoning it into this black gem. And she pauses. That's as much as I can get. We'll need Coloran to get the rest. And Kron just kind of hands her the gem. Very well. I have my work to do. And he walks, as he starts walking out of the tent, all of a sudden he just teleports away. Which again is kind of shocking everybody in this tent that's awake, because you haven't seen this much magic in your lives.
Look at this little bitch running for Connor.
He said he has work to do.
Yeah, I think I left my stove on.
Crex and Mirage, you both wake up next.
Yep, and correct.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
Sorry.
Mirage.
Yep, and Mirage. You wake up next.
So as I'm kind of like breaking up, I was like, Cracks, what happened?
I blame this on you.
Cracks, where's my ass hurt?
I have no clue.
The guard nearby goes, because someone had the genius idea to drop a bag of marbles on the ground for him to use as a weapon. And the guy just turns over and looks at you.
And I whip my head.
Yeah, who did that?
The guard's just looking at you, and you notice the hole in his cheek.
You okay?
That's about as good as I'm gonna get.
Is the egg okay?
Your bag is nearby.
So I gotta like just try to feel the bag to see if there's like an egg-shaped thing in there.
There is an egg-shaped thing there.
Like,
You and that damn egg.
so I look over to the guard and like, so what happened?
The archmages appeared and ended the fight. We won. Not without cost, but we won. And at that moment, a couple paladins kind of walk by, which catches your attention. And they're walking towards the back of the tent, kind of opposite side from where Vandal's laid up, which is where Mara is. And you can see her and Matthias laid next to each other. They kind of come in, check on Matthias, and they bow their heads, kneel next to him, and kind of clasp. He's basically laying there like this. They clasp on his hand, and then they leave. Mara wakes up shortly thereafter and looks over and sees Matthias just kind of laying there. His head is turned away from you.
Mm-hmm.
And he's completely out, pretty much like Vandal is, from what you can tell from where you're laying.
Okay. First thing I do is call for Matthias.
He doesn't respond.
I stumble out of the cot to him, and I take his hand. What does he look like? What do I see?
So from what you can see on this side of his face, he's got bruises, cuts all over it, like he was dragged.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that he's still in his battle armor, and they haven't done much to treat the other wounds. And
I would know what that means, right?
Mm-hmm, you would have a suspicion.
Is he still alive at that point?
He doesn't seem to be breathing.
Okay. I start shaking. I kind of slowly edge down to my knees, still holding him. Try calling his name again. Obviously, he doesn't respond.
Mm-hmm.
And I first say, no, this is too high a cost. Then take a deep breath. I grab my religious symbol and hold it. And then I begin. You want me to start reading it?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Concentrate your mind on how you arrived here and not where you are going. Pull forth your strength and resolve. Join in the journey of the soul. Your only weight need be the deeds of your life. Let your faith be your guide. Let your soul be free of the burdens of life. You meet now Demorial, judge of the dead, guide of the wandering. Pass now to your own fate and reap what you have sown. What lies beyond is bought in the bargain.
And then you hear, you say your prayer,
Mm-hmm.
and you feel that typical warmth when you say the prayer for the dead, and it sort of passes to him. But then there's a sort of cold emptiness inside as you're staring at him,
Mm-hmm.
and then you hear, almost an answer to your prayer. No, this is not just. He can be saved. You can save him.
Demoria?
Yes. It is not his fate. Channel your energy. I will help you.
Okay. I hear you, Demorio. I hear you. And I began channeling as best as a level 1 paladin can.
So,
Let's go.
Which is not at all.
yeah, basically Mara's eyes turn like white, and she begins channeling energy into his body. You're concerned because you recognize that it's not very divine looking compared to what the clerics have been doing. It's very similar to yours. And she's kind of channeling this energy into the body, and you can see him sort of starting to stir. The feel of the energy triggers all the clerics in the room. They're like, who's casting this spell? And they kind of turn, and there's a commotion as they like rush over to stop her from trying to resurrect him. Because an attempt like this for someone like her who's just an initiate will kill her and have negative consequences. So the clerics are trying to do this. You kind of get pushed as they're getting over there, and everybody's focus is now on this, right? And so you're all just like wondering what happens. Eventually, she collapses and passes out. And they lay her on the bed, and the clerics begin examining Matthias's body. One basically begins like redoing consecration rites on him. When you get up and turn back, Vandal's gone. His bed's empty, and there's a tear in the tent.
Where's Vandal? So she's gonna start trying to like get people's attention, which is out of character for her, by the way, because she does not like speaking to other people. But she's like, she'll look at you and be like, "Where's Vandal? Where did he go?
Did he get up? Did he walk out?
He's not there."
I'm gonna help look.
I try to get up at this point.
The only thing left where he is a blood-soaked bed.
Your friend. The one. That's the one missing. And so I assume I see the.
Yep.
I'm gonna go that way.
All
I'm
right.
gonna try and go through it.
You go out. You don't even. I mean,
No,
tracks. You don't
No.
even see tracks.
no blood-soaked tracks.
No blood. Nothing. It's like he got up, cut a hole in the tent, and disappeared. Like he walked through a portal.
I
I'm,
see nothing.
I'm gonna question everybody in the area.
People are like, no, I haven't seen him. Some people don't know who he is. Others are, describe him for me.
How
Is-
could you miss him? And he was a very large guy.
So Talia's still in the tent, and is Phelan still in the tent?
Phelan's gone. She
Okay.
left after getting the energy, drawing the energy out.
Okay. So the clerics are still examining Matthias.
Yeah, you're able to get one of their attention.
my friend Vandal, he's not here.
He looks. Hold, please. And he basically runs outside the tent. And you can hear him loudly talking to the guard, basically like, we need to find this man. He's going to die if he's wandering around the camp. Like, you know, chop, chop, let's go. So now the camp is basically mobilized looking for Vandal because most people are worried that he's basically about to die.
Yeah, he's not thinking straight.
Right. I mean, you two are caught up in all this as well. Do you have any? Do you guys react? Do you do anything? What do you do?
Yep. Do I recognize, or from seeing him before, the guy who I was talking to in the street?
Yes.
Okay. So I turn to Chris like, Craigs! Oh, Craigs, I think I kind of know that guy.
Know who?
He was the one that pointed me your way towards the dogs after the whole commotion.
Oh, have you seen him?
I don't know where he is now, but he had these, like, it was weird. It was almost like dragon eyes.
Dragon eyes.
I think he was and I, we better be going.
Oh yeah, you're right.
We gave that ruby thing to the, whatever the hell that was.
No.
Craigs, it might be our fault.
Wait, inside or outside?
They're in the tent.
We're whispering.
Yeah, they're
to each other.
whispering.
Dude,
to each
he's
other.
going to Craig's. It might be our fault. I'm dying laughing.
We didn't do this.
Craigs, all those people. So Yip is like looking really, really distraught,
Right.
and so
Let's go.
we kind of sneak out of the tent.
Okay. Yeah, in the commotion of them looking for Vandal, you guys dip out. The search basically ends without ever finding him. Colleran eventually arrives, discusses with Phelan, and I will look for him. I will find him.
I would have been asking around about our losses too, as far as the Iron Wolves and then the other contingent.
Iron Wolves lost about 20% of your forces that were here. The army of Temervin
There's the word. Could not think of it.
lost about 40%.
Okay.
Okay. What about my shipmates and the ships?
The ships are damaged, but not destroyed. Most of your shipmates, similar situations to you, they, wounded, got treated by the clerics and the medics, but you guys are okay to ship out in a couple days. Mara eventually wakes up. At this point, they have already, by Tyr's rights, burned Matthias's body. After reperforming consecration rites. And one of the clerics sits down and looks at her. Actually, looks at her and goes, "My child, I know you were distraught, but do you understand that? What were you doing?"
Demariel told me to.
Demorial spoke to you,
He said I could save him, that it wasn't fate's will.
but the energy, child. This cleric is wearing the holy symbol. The energy was not of Demorial's. It was something else.
It was Demorial's voice.
I see. I will inform your superiors and hope that they take that into consideration. The cleric gets up, walks out. A few minutes later, the head of your order comes in and sits across from you. Mara, you attempted to resurrect Matthias, did you not?
I listened to my god.
You say that, but I have consulted with the clerics and oracles. And according to them, Demorial states it was Matthias's fate to die in this battle, a hero.
That is not what I've heard.
That being the case, You have broken your oath to the Judge of the Dead and are hereby an Oathbreaker Paladin. You are excommunicated from the Order, but I will give you this. And he basically hands you Matthias' sword. Shield, sorry. Shield, sorry, yeah, my bad. Shield. I believe he would have wanted you to have this.
I am no Oathbreaker.
May you find atonement out in the world. And he stands and leaves.
I make no emotion. I take the shield. I stare at it. And then get up. And I take my gear. And I leave.
Okay. With that, 5 years pass.